Chidakasha Gita by Paramahansa Bhagawan Nityananda. Ananda. God is in bliss. In God is bliss. That is the nectar of wisdom. In that nectar is joy. When we approach that nectar, we experience joy. The essence of every creature is eternal joy. Acquire eternal joy. What is eternal Ananda is eternal Mukti. The mental seats are the thrones of kings. The eternal seat is the eternal joy. When Sat and Chit are united, the same is Paramananda. The same is called Chaitanyananda. Atma. The coconut kernel detached from the shell makes a dull sound when shaken. So also the soul and body must be thought of as separate. The first is light. By that light, all vices are consumed. We drink the juice of the sugar cane and throw away the refuse. Similarly, this body is a house for the Atman. When it is spoiled, we build a new one. It is the nest that perishes, not the bird. The nest is built of earth. The blood vessels and nerves are earth. In the blood vessels are the blood and semen. This body made of flesh is subject to death. If it is not washed for a single day, it stinks. We cannot trust the human body. It is not the body that exists nor disappears. He is the one who is the supreme doer. The body is the cave. In this cave dwells the Atman. Atman dwelling in the body must attain moksha, liberation. The outward bodily parts are various. In the invisible, subtle, all is one, indivisible. What the nest is to the bird is the body to the soul. The body is the house of the soul. What is that house and what is this house is subtle discrimination. The gross body is the beggarly house. What to say of Brahmananda? No one can describe it. From the cause is the effect. Whence is the cause? The cause and the effect are from the Atman. Cause and effect must be the slaves of oneself. Both these are from the Atman. This Atman absorbs the cause and the effect and becomes one. The Maya, which the Atman creates, is annihilated by Atman. Just as all rivers enter the ocean, both the good and evil enter the Atman. Both are sacrificed to the Atman. Both the good and the evil are from the Atman. They enter in that from which they came. Mind is the cause of good and evil acts. Mind is Atman's power instrument. No one can increase or diminish it, the soul force. What will happen will happen. It will happen only in one way, according to the eternal law. Why do you hold an umbrella? To prevent the rain from falling on you. Rain is Maya. Truth is the umbrella. Chitta, the firm mind, is the handle of the umbrella. In everything there is truth, but there are very few men who have realized that truth. Maya is from the Atman, but the Atman is not from Maya. The Prime Minister is of the King. The Prime Minister is not the King. Mind is not Atman. Mind is the reflection of the Atman. Mind is 2 ranks below Atman. Mind is subject to destruction. Atman is indestructible. Mind is deluded by the various objects to the senses. Atman is not subject to the delusion caused by the threefold qualities, the 3 gunas. Mind is subject to the threefold qualities. When we say that mind is a fragment of the Atman, we mean the mind is to the Atman what the river is to the ocean. Atman is the ocean. Its water is measureless and endless. Similarly, Atman has neither a beginning nor an ending. Atman has not come from anywhere, nor does he go anywhere. Atman is everywhere. There is nothing existing but Atman. Anterior to you and posterior to you is all creation, which fact is unknown to you. Atma is beyond all karmas and formality. Karma is that which is done without attachment. A man is free from sin if he performs karmas disinterestedly. Karma is that which is done by the knowledge of Atma, who is actionless and passionless. Atma is not perceptible to the senses. It is perceived by intelligence, buddhi. It is not perceptible as a thing with form and qualities. To those whose attention is fixed on the body, it is very difficult to attain peace. It is also very difficult for them to see the Atma. O mind, enter the house of Ananda. When the whole area is flooded, we cannot distinguish the wells and tanks in that area. Because there is darkness, we must infer there is light. When you taste sweet things, remember there are pungent things to be swallowed. What is the state of the jiva? When the jiva has realized that the Atman is not the body, such souls have attained their pristine condition. I and mine are not visible to their physical eyes. I and mine are not to be found above the tip of the nose. That which is above these has neither beginning nor ending. A visible object has a beginning and an ending. Since Atma is invisible to the physical eye, Atma is without beginning and ending. It is impossible to lessen the power of Atman, because Atman is always constant. Just as space is homogeneous everywhere, so is the Atman the same everywhere. The head of man is the abode of the light of millions of suns. Which is bigger, the eye or the sun? If the eye is damaged, is it possible to see the sun? So the eye is more important. The fruit is according to the internal faith of a man. Good and evil are not of the Atman. Atman, like the reflection of an object, takes that form which the mind wants him to take. The jiva is like a bird in a cage. When the nest is damaged, the bird is not affected. The bird flies away. The bird may build a new nest and enter it in 6 months, in a year, or in 5 minutes. That depends on the bird's efforts. From this place to the railway station, you can go in 24 minutes or in a month. When the mind is unwavering in all the external and internal causes and effects, then one sees the Atman. When the idea of dhyana and vijnana is absent, then one sees the Atman. When one knows, but he is not aware that he knows, then one sees the Atman. Men who have realized the Atman are like blind men, are like deaf men, although they hear. They do, but they are unaware of what they do. When the senses are acting, they are disunited with them, so their action is inaction to them. In them, the idea of creation is less, the idea of nullity is more. Since their power of forgetfulness is great, their actions are inactions. Their attention is concentrated not on the coconut shell, but on the kernel, on Atman, not on the body. They are beyond both sin and merit. They are like a boat in the water. Just as water and boat are quite distinct, they feel the gross and the subtle to be separate. They are indifferent to bodily functions, but concentrated in jnana. They drink the juice of the sugar cane and throw away the outer skin. When the sugar is manufactured, it does not become the cane again. When by practice one has realized that he is Atman, the idea that he is the body never returns. Like an old vessel, after the necessary repairs, shining with the luster of the new, Buddhi, when the vasanas are annihilated, can be transformed into the pure sattva quality. Then we will have contentment. When ice is placed in water, both become one. Similarly, man who has realized the Atman merges in the Atman. Just as the rivers enter the sea, all vasanas are merged in Atman. Atman is not a thing, karma is a thing. Avadhuta. An avadhuta is the greatest of men. Yogis and sannyasis want some siddhi, some power acquired through yoga or tapas. An avadhuta does not want anything. An avadhuta has conquered death and birth. He has no consciousness of the body. An avadhuta has gone beyond all gunas, all qualities. He is the knower of the omniscient light. He has no consciousness of the I. Such is a Raja Yogi, not a Hatha Yogi. When he comes to a village, he feels glad whomsoever he may see. He has no consciousness of duality, though he moves here and there. He has no hunger. He eats plentifully if he gets plenty of eatables. If he does not get, he will not ask anybody. Those who give to him poison and those who give to him milk are the same to him. Those who beat him and those who love him are the same to him. To an avadhuta, the universe is the father, the mother, and the relation. He becomes the universe, and the universe becomes him. The universe is merged in him. He who is desireless is an acharya, the teacher. A desireless man is a sannyasi. He is an avadhuta in this world who has abandoned desire. Avadhuta is a man of the first class. He is the most supreme of men. There is no state higher than that of avadhuta. Avadhuta is he who is above all. He to whom this world and the next have become one is an avadhuta. Consciousness sky, real sky, emancipation from bondage, the bliss of self-government, the bliss of Brahman, real bliss, yoga bliss, fulfillment of human birth, lordship of mukti, power to teach emperors. These are the possessions of an avadhuta. Bhakti. It is not bhakti to give a man some money or to give him a meal as charity. Bhakti is universal love. Seeing God in all beings without the least idea of duality is bhakti. Bhakti in the beginning is selfish. Afterwards, there is no selfishness in it. A vessel without water is of no use. Bhakti is water. Intelligence, the buddhi, is the vessel. He who has no subtle bhakti is no man. Take 10 men. Their bhakti is not of an identical nature. When 10 people are going on a journey, if one of them sits to take rest, the remaining 9 will also do the same. Likewise, if one man is inspired with bhakti, other people by seeing or hearing him become also bhaktas. Bhakti is the state of eternal bliss. Bhakti, devotion, is nothing but love a man manifests toward an object. A man should believe that thing is great, by which, because of his faith, he has been much benefited. This belief should not be relaxed. There is not a single thing without bhakti. All animals have bhakti. Just as water flows in different directions, so also is bhakti of different types. All animals have a right for bhakti. Bhakti is in all objects. Bhakti should be absolutely pure. Bhakti should be realized in the sky of consciousness. Bhakti should be internal, and it should realize the subtle. Then a man becomes desireless and sorrowless. This state is eternal mukti. Let mukti be entered into by the path of Sushumna. Desireless bhakti is not for the enjoyment of worldly happiness. This bhakti is not related to nature. This bhakti is not for getting rid of any difficulties. There is no relation whatsoever between this bhakti and difficulty. No one should shrink back from the path of this bhakti. He should proceed on the path of this bhakti. Just as a big lizard embraces the wall very firmly and never leaves it, so also desireless bhakti should firmly embrace the heart lotus with steadfast faith. Bhakti by the path of skill should be one with the Shakti. By such a bhakti, let the heart be purified of all its upadis. Let such a bhakti become absolutely free from desire. Let this desirelessness become the strongest. Let the senses become quiet. The giver of peace, the Lord of the universe, is the Omkar, all existence. Let his bhakti become unwavering in that giver of peace. This is real bhakti. This is eternal peace. This is the Atman, luminous. This is what is called Sat. This bhakti is beyond both this world and the next. This is nothing but the mind filled with eternal Ananda. The highest of all arts is the Brahma Vidya, the art by which God is realized. Such an art cannot be bought for money. It is not obtained by honor or dishonor. It is not obtained by outer fame. It is acquired only by unwavering devotion. Without bhakti, there is no liberation from bondage. Mukti is attained by a man only by this subtle bhakti. Brahman. From a plank are manufactured tables, chairs, and so on. So also Brahman is the primordial tattva, the substance from which numberless worlds are formed. To say, I am Brahma, is not just. Thou art all art thou, we must say. All is he, pervading everything. He is the one, pervading all creatures, qualityless, the one Omkar, one, whose form is everlasting peace, blesser of those who have faith in him. The same being punishes those who ridicule his devotees. He makes the death of his devotees easy. O Shiva, do not lead me toward hell, but towards you. the giver is Shiva. He is the Omkar, Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara, the origin of Parabrahman. Vishnu is the mental modifications, the vrittis. What is Shiva is the decoration of the body. Brahmeshwara is leaving aside of the body idea, like the kernel of a dry coconut which is separated from the outer covering. He is without form, he is without change. He is above discrimination, he is bliss absolute. When a man has learned to write on paper, he need not practice writing on sand spread on the ground. Similarly, when a man has attained Brahman, which is qualityless, he does not descend to Brahman with qualities. When the milk has been changed into buttermilk, can it be again converted into milk? Breath, prana. Just as we draw water from a well, we should draw breath. When we breathe out, it should be like letting down the bucket into the well. When we breathe out, it is the carbon, the impurities of the body that are expelled. When we breathe in, it is the breath of Omkar. Breath of Omkar is the manas. The upgoing breath is like the wheels inside a clock. Its movement is inside. When the movement of the breath is internal, one will see the world in himself. If a building has no doors, we cannot call it a house. Without fire, we cannot heat water. Without air, fire cannot burn. Without food and sleep, a man can live for a few days. But without air, breath, a man cannot live even for a few seconds. Without the control of breath, pranayama, a man cannot be a yogi, nor is he a sannyasi. Without a rudder, it is impossible to steer a boat or ship. It is the breath that man brings here at birth, and it is the breath that man takes with him when he leaves this world. In pranayama, puraka is drawing up the breath. Kumbhaka is retaining the breath. Rechaka is exhaling the breath. These three kinds of breath are from within. Nothing is taken from outside. While thus the practice is going on, the prana will move only in one nadi. We then feel the internal joy. Who can describe this Brahmananda? The outside world will then be forgotten. We will then be in the world beyond. Harmonizing the prana and apana, enjoy the eternal bliss. The seat of breath is the truth. It is the internal space, the Chidakasha. In the eternal space is the tower of eternal bliss. This tower is the seat of eternal peace. In the unconscious sleep, enjoy the conscious sleep of bliss. This is not the sleep of beasts. Sleep the sleep of man. Enjoy that sleep which must be the aim and end of man. Sleep the sleep of the spiritual eye. When talking, when sitting, without any desires, without any thoughts, sleep this spiritual sleep. Fixing your attention on breath, sleep. Perform the natural japa of the inward and outward breath. Have mental, subtle bhakti. Yes, have it. Attain liberation from bondage. Have constant bhakti, never interrupted. Breathe up and down without any restraint. Drawing the breath upwards is puraka. Stopping the breath is kumbhaka. Kumbhaka is your real seat. Breathing out is rechaka. While breathing in, it should be like drawing water from a well. Draw the breath up to the Brahmarandra in the brain. By such a breathing, kindle the fire of jnana, purify the nadis, burn the three humors, vata, pitta, and kapha, in this fire. What is called discrimination is such a fire. It is the yoga fire. It is the food digesting fire in the stomach. The discrimination is the solar light. God pervades the universe in the form of subtle energy. Creation is caused by the doubts of the mind. Creation is purely a mental affection. When you have attained same-sightedness, there will be no creation. The subtle state is common to both mobile and immobile beings. The difference is in the causal, prakriti. Difference is delusion. Difference is in the body. Bodies are transient. Prakriti is evanescent. When you realize the subtle in the gross, that state is called moksha. Mukti is the indivisible. Mukti is in the heart space. In the heart space is Shivalinga. It is self-existence. This is also called the Prince Prana. This is the upward breath. This is known in yoga as prana. Prana is the one. Prana is the one in all. Prana is existence. This is known only to those who have practiced yoga. Those who have not practiced yoga are not aware of this fact, they being bound by desires. So cut asunder the bondage of desires and hence attain salvation. Realize the one Tattva, Parabrahman. Realize him by the internal eye. Without a rope, water from a well cannot be drawn up. In the body, breath is the rope. Drawing the inward breath harmoniously is like drawing up the water from a well. In order to make planks of a wooden beam, it should be sawed up and down. Similarly, breath should move upwards and downwards in the body. It should be led into buddhi and made always to move in an upward direction. To take a stone uphill requires great effort, but to bring it down by the same route is not difficult. So also going up is difficult, but coming down is easy. It is difficult for the prana to leave the body. To receive a thing is easy, but to return it is difficult. Those men who do not return what they have received are not worthy of the name of men. They are merely animals. They have no virtue. Jnana is attained by subtle thinking, so breath should be controlled. The mind should be merged in the sound. Those who do not breathe through the nose have no desires of any sort. Their breath is purely internal. They concentrate their breath in the Brahmarandhra, where the Ida and Pingala meet. They have realized the Paramatman. They look upon all things as self. This is Swarajya, self-government. What is Swarajya is Jiva's true place. The light of life is Pranavayu. Pranavayu is the capital of Swarajya government. Atman is the lord of the Swarajya government. Swarajya is one's own energy. This energy must be kept under perfect control. What is Swarajya is not a hill, it is not gold. Keeping under control both desire and anger is Swarajya. A man must say what he does and do what he says. If you hold nose and mouth tight, you are not able to talk. Similarly, a thing that does not breathe does not emit sound. Just as water goes on diminishing in a well in summer, so also the power of breath goes on diminishing in the body. When the water is moving, the air moves along with it. You can live without food or without drinking coffee for 5 days, but you cannot live for 5 minutes without breathing. The highest of all powers is the power of Maya. A dead body, and so also a stone, are unable to talk. Likewise, if air does not act, fire cannot burn. If breathing is not regular, the fire of digestion will be impaired. When the digestive fire does not act properly, the phlegm in the lungs becomes hard. Fat increases in the body. The food that is eaten remains in the stomach undigested. If there is any obstruction in the pump, water will not flow out properly. Similarly, if the breathing becomes difficult, fever, thickening of the mucus are caused. By this, all diseases are caused. Those who do not practice pranayama have no yoga. It is impossible to draw water from a well without a rope. Puraka is drawing the breath up. Kumbhaka is retaining the breath. Rechaka is the exhaling of breath slowly from within. Many sorts of cakes are prepared from the same rice. So also by breath everything is accomplished. The functions are different. What is called pranayama is all internal working. The same is Shiva Shakti in man. When this Shakti is guided to Brahmarandra, it is communion with Godhead. Samadhi means controlling one's energy. Samadhi is the upward breath. The upward breath is what is called the Tadaka Brahman. When the upward breath has become perfect, the whole world is within you. This upward breath is the same in all creatures. A Raja Yogi is one who has realized the One, indivisible. He is one with God when he is talking or sitting or walking. Raja Yoga is like sitting in an upper story and looking around below. Raja Yoga is so called because it is the king of all yogas. When our intellect becomes one with God, the same is known as Raja Yoga. It is all peace. It is formless, qualityless. Bliss has no characteristics whatsoever. This is known as Jivan Mukti. Just as there are the gutters on both sides of the road for the water to flow freely, so also you must allow the breath to take an upward course freely. It requires great effort to carry a stone upwards, but without the least effort on our part, it suddenly comes down. Similarly is concentration. It is easy to take birth, but is very difficult to leave this body. We must discover the source of a river. After it joins the sea, there is no use in seeing the river. To a tree, its mother root is the most important. All other roots are subsidiary. When we raise a chair, our breath goes upwards. That is the seat of prana. When we are cooking, flames of fire have an upward course. So also the smoke takes an upward course. In the lighted chimney, the course of the heated air is upwards. Similarly, in the heart space, the course of breath is upwards. Our joy is caused by the motion of the air, vayu. Without this air motion, there is no blood circulation. When a water canal is dammed, the motion of water has come to an end. So also in this body, such a dam is vata, pitta, and kapha, the three humors or tridoshas. Those who do not concentrate on breath have no aim, no state, no intelligence, and no fulfillment. So concentrate and think. Concentrate on the indrawing and outgoing breath. Draw the breath in properly. Breathe, concentrating on the sound the breath produces. Concentrate on the sound which is produced internally. Have faith in the internal sound and breathe. Breathe in. Breathe deeper and deeper. Breathe in so that the internal sound may be audible to the ears. Do not think of anything else. Eating and drinking, coming and standing and eating, these do not elevate the soul. Cook for yourself. Do not desire to eat what others have cooked. O mind, do what you do with faith. Prana is like a rope. When exhaling and inhaling, it moves harmoniously. Prana is indivisible. It has no difference of time. Prana feels this difference when it is coupled with the gross. Prana should be tied down by the rope of faith. Let prana attain moksha by its upward direction. Liberation from the sensual ties is moksha. Then comes peace. O prana, enter the abode of peace. Have under control both this world and the next. Such souls will attain Satchidananda. They have no attachment to the results of karma. They are eternally liberated from bondage. They are eternally one-minded. They have conquered the qualities of the jiva. Just as small rivers enter the sea, our attention must be fixed on the internal breath. Desirelessness. If you perform tapas for thousands of years with a desire for results, it is of no avail. But if you perform tapas for one ghatika without any desire for fruits, you will see all in God and God in all. A man becomes desireless when he sees a dead body burning. This desirelessness is temporary. This is the secret of the body. Desirelessness imparted by a guru should not be abandoned. From desirelessness, a man obtains liberation from bondage. This desirelessness is the best. Guru is secondary. The desire that a man be initiated is of the third class. Getting a guru is of the second class. By practice, getting experience for oneself is the real desirelessness, which is the goal of human life. When one practices and imparts his knowledge to another, it is Yogananda desirelessness. It is the imperishable and the indivisible state. It is the tree of peace. The climbing of the tree of peace, which is in the head, and being one with that peace tree, is the real imperishable desirelessness. The cutting of the primary root of passion and anger is the imperishable desirelessness. Being in samsara, enjoying a little of its pleasures and then renouncing it, is the second desirelessness. Desirelessness is liberation from bondage in this very life. Those who have no faith have no desirelessness. Similarly, those who have annihilated the manas have no vasanas. So also those who have no faith do not reap any fruit. We buy a diamond for 5,000 or 6,000 rupees. This is all rental delusion. If we have no mind to buy a diamond, its value is nothing more than that of a lump of earth. He is a Brahmin who has performed the Upayana ceremony. Establish what is called Upadhi in you. Being desireless, look inward in your heart. See with the eye of desirelessness. Discard distinctions. Burn to ashes the idea of you and I. Yes, you burn it to ashes. One who has destroyed desire, root and branch, is the teacher of all. He who meditates on God and who is desireless is the savior of the world. He who meditates on God is a Muni, a sage. He is Shiva, and Shiva is he. All that is visible is Shiva. Men who have no desire need not have a separate God. They need not strive for anything. When the mind runs after various objects of the senses, to bring the mind to one-pointedness, what is called practice, is necessary. Man should concentrate on buddhi as long as there is the beating of the pulse in man, and as many times as the pulse beats. The manas should not be united with the senses. Whatever you may do, your mind should be concentrated inwards upon buddhi. In order that a man may not be drowned in water, he must learn how to swim. Maya should be conquered by the supreme Maya. What is Maya? When the manas runs after sense objects, variety of desires are created. It is you that cling to the coconut tree. The coconut tree does not cling to you. Similarly, has Maya hands and legs to catch hold of you? That yoga by which a man becomes free from desires is the path to moksha. Doubt will not disappear until the jiva unites with Shiva and becomes one. He who is ignorant of the true goal of life is a beast. This goal is desirelessness. He who is ignorant of this fact is not a man. Man, who is the crown and culmination of God's creation, must not be like a frog which sinks below water and rises above water repeatedly. This human life is not like that of the frog. This life cannot always be attained. When we have acquired it, we should make efforts to reach the goal of life. Meals cannot be had before cooking. Divine madness. The sense of equality is the greatest thing in this world. People go mad after shadows. Very few are mad after the invisible, the subtle. True madness is very rare, it being found only in one among a lakh or two, 100,000 or two. Other people run mad after 16 things in a katika, 24 minutes. I want this, I want that, this is different, that is different, such as their mad talk. Entertaining various motives is madness. Fickleness of mind is madness. Greatness is madness. Practicing and seeing the reality is the opposite kind of madness. Liberation from birth and death is divine madness. Those who have not realized the truth are mad after the gross. Everyone has one sort of madness or another. Thousands of people possess houses, diamonds, jewels, gold, and property. They did not bring these things with them at birth, nor will they take these with them at death. Discrimination is the fire. Intelligence is the vessel. Mukti is the goal of life. Divine unity. The water in the well is the same at all levels. There are not two waters in the same well. So also the life energy is the same in all mobile and immobile beings. Likewise, the energy in the sun and the moon is the same. Atma is in space, and space is in Atma. Those who have realized this will sing with joy. They know the Ananda Kundalini. They will try to discover where this Kundalini is. They will join it by pranayama after finding it out. They must join it by repeatedly performing pranayama. They must realize bhakti. They must realize mukti. They must conquer both birth and death and must forget all. One must conquer death and things allied to it. One must understand the true nature of Maya. One should realize Nityananda, eternal joy. O mind, become one with this eternal joy. Enjoy such a mind which has become one with this eternal joy. Become one with the Supreme Being. O mind, the external world must melt and become one with the Supreme Being. Until the consciousness, I am the body, is wiped off, mukti is a thing far off. Unless the idea of two-ness, duality, is annihilated, there is no yoga, no mukti. In a sense, everyone is a yogi, but every one of such yogis has a certain object in view. When a substance becomes one with the original substance, when the dualities of lives is wiped off, it is called union or oneness. When this is realized, we see oneness in all. The real yoga is that which is detached from everything. Instead of believing in thousands of gods, if a man believes only in one God, he can realize what bliss is. Then only is a man content. Those who believe in thousands of gods are never content. So long as you think of two, there is no happiness. So feel happy only in one. God is only one, never two. Those whose faith is such see God in themselves. They see all as Atman. This is the path to moksha. For such a man there is no enemy. All are his friends. A man should not spoil himself by believing in two. He should attain by believing in one. A man must return from whence he has come. Knowing cause and effect, playing on external matter, reach the place from whence you started. This is moksha. O mind, banish the idea of duality. Have subtle discrimination. Having abandoned the idea of duality, think that the visible universe is all Shiva, the spotless. Doubt. Those who have no doubt find that this doubtlessness is the path to one-pointedness of mind. A doubting person's intellect is small, limited. Wherever they may see, they see nothing but doubt. Everybody is subject to his own nature. There is no cause for finding that quality which one has not. In the shaking water a man cannot see his reflection. In the still water a man can see his reflection quite properly. Similarly, to a fickle-minded man his real nature is not visible. To a steady-minded man, wherever he may see, he sees the one, indivisible. He sees himself in others. If you put on red spectacles, you see everything red. You cannot see green. Everyone sees according as he thinks. Duality. Property and fame are here only. There, everything is one. Duality exists here only. On the other side, there is no duality. The energy in the sun appears as light. Likewise, there is an energy in the form of light in a gaslight. To those who have lost the difference between day and night, the light of the sun and that of the gaslight are the same. There is no difference between the two. Duty to others. One must not reserve sugar for himself and distribute sand to others. One following the royal road should not lead others to the path covered with forests. It is one's bounden duty to lead others by the royal road. We must do this at once. We are not sure about the future. Fire is essentially an internal thing. Fire is the supreme of all. The origin of all creation is fire. First, we must realize ourselves and then impart it to others. This is the highest duty of man. When you feel pain, you must realize that others have pain just like you. When you feel hungry, you must realize that others have hunger just like you. We must think that what is our goal is also the goal of others. When a physician develops a new medicine and he does not reveal it to others up to his death, the medicine is lost to the world with him. One who does not know the ways and means to realize God is not a man. The most supreme knowledge is the knowledge of God. This knowledge must be imparted to others so that they may understand it. Those who are hungry must be fed. Nobody asks you about God unless he has discriminative power. A man falls into a well, we should take him up, not allowing him to die. We must not think that a man will always be bad. We must try to correct him. Even-mindedness. A ripe fruit is very sweet to the taste. The same fruit, when it is unripe, is astringent. Both are produced by the same tree. The difference between the two is caused by time. As soon as a coconut is planted into the ground, it does not grow into a plant. First it sprouts, then becomes a plant, and then finally it becomes a tree. A tender coconut tree can be easily plucked from the ground, but a fully grown coconut tree cannot be easily plucked. So also our mind must be unaffected. Whatever people say to us, or whatever they say about us, the mind must always be under our control. This is what a man must accomplish in life. This must be the one object in life. This a man must accomplish even if his head is to be struck off. We should give a blow with the mind itself, not with a cane or a hand or the like. We should learn to tie a man without a rope. This is what a man should accomplish in life. Faith, Shraddha. The first requirement is faith. The second is devotion, bhakti. Those who have no faith cannot have devotion. The judge listens to what the defendants say. Faith is just like that. One's faith is the greatest thing. Above faith there is no God. In this world there is nothing higher than faith. Man, devoid of faith, cannot be deceived by the wicked tricks of others. Man enjoys that in which he has his faith. The internal faith should be concentrated upon breath. Those who have no faith have no thoughts of anything. Those who have no faith have no regard for sadhus and sannyasis. They think wrongly that thousands of sadhus are merged in them. Faith is like a rope. Faith must be tied by the rope of dharana. What is faith is nothing but dharana. Our attention must always be concentrated on dharana. That concentration must always be coupled with faith. Faith should be filled in every nadi of the body. To such people, there is no existence of Maya as a separate thing. Fear. What is called fear is the creation of the mind. For the internal sight, there is no fear. Fear exists to the man who has no internal eye. If you are afraid of water, you cannot cross a river in a boat. If you are afraid of fire, you cannot heat water. Fear must be banished. To accomplish anything worth doing, one must be thoroughly fearless. Mind is the cause of anything we do. The fear of death is dead forever. What is called the feeling of I and mine is nothing but this fear of death. This is an obstruction to the path of God realization. When the truth is realized, death becomes an external condition, just as you sleep, forgetting the external world. This is not different from what is called the internal life. Then the senses are turned inward, and when they move internally, I and mine become atomic and become merged in the highest. When the jiva suddenly awakens from sleep and becomes aware of the external, then only he realizes the nature of sleep. This is the state of jnana. The cause of birth and death is desire. By this desire, the shadow appears as reality. Food. There is not a fixed rule about the taking of food. It has not been said that one should not take his meals. Moderation is the rule. Half stomach food, 1/4 water. Do not love sleep too much. Fire consumes anything and everything. It does not distinguish between good and bad. Likewise, those who are doing karma may eat anything. Those who do not know what karma is are not aware of what they should do. Such a one suffers from indigestion. One whose digestion is all right may eat anything he likes. It will be digested. Sleep is necessary, moderate sleep. Do not eat when the stomach is full. Be always regular in your meals. Full of food, annapurna, means full of prana. Food, anna, means prana. If we store our money in a box without much thought about it, it remains in a great store. If we spend from it, it becomes less and less. If by the internal exercise of the sadhana practice, which is with us, we lead the prana to the Brahmarandra, and there, if prana and Shiva are united, Then we do not require anything. Restraining the manas from going down and showing it the royal road of the middle path is what is called food. God and man. The real place of the jiva is formless, indivisible. God pervades all things, movable and immovable. He is the one without a second. God is the origin of the Vedas. He is the Lord of the body. He is the Lord of Jivan Mukti. Man, to be man, must meditate on God. No man should think he is the doer. Everything is ordained by the Paramatman. He is Paramatman, who is in Jivatman. Paramatman is the witness to the qualities of the Atman. When the jiva realizes that he is not different from Paramatman, he is called Nityatma, the eternal spirit. When the tender mango is on the tree, it is united with the tree. So also are the jiva and Paramatman united. When Sat, Chit and Ananda are in union, and when the three gunas are merged in Sat, Chit, Ananda, then only do we say that it is yoga. God vision. You must see that God who is in the heart space. Yes, you must see him. You must see that Krishna who is eternal bliss. It is delusion to regard stone as God. All tattvas have one root tattva called Parabrahman. When this is realized, it is called Jivan Mukti. You must see the river at its source, and not after it merges into the sea. You should see the mother root of a tree. All the trees have one mother root, so also all have one and only one God. When you have realized all as one, homogeneous, this realization is mukti. Although all fingers are not of the same size, when you take your meals, they come to one size. So when your experience ripens, you see the one, indivisible. One who has become one with the Supreme has accomplished the object of his birth. One must concentrate his mind on the Supreme. One must become one with the Supreme. Wakefulness, dream state, and sleep state must melt in the Supreme and become one. Guru. The primary guru is the manas. The secondary preceptor is he who initiates you. The secondary guru is the teacher. The primary guru is that which practices. Realization is the primary guru. You cannot have a secondary preceptor unless you have a desire to have him. When you have the desire to possess a thing, you require a secondary guru. The secondary guru is he who shows you the well. The primary guru is he who drinks water from the well. The primary preceptor banishes the darkness in you, giving you light. Darkness is ignorance, light is knowledge. He who shows you the path to the subtle, leaving aside the gross, is the guru. The one guru who is in all is the Lord of the universe. One is not the guru to the other. One is only a secondary guru. Guru is the Lord of the universe. Hari Hara. Hari is no Lord, Shiva is the Lord. What is called Hari is delusion. What you see with the physical eye is the gross intellect. What you see outside is the gross intellect. What you see inside is not Hari. What is visible is not Shiva. What you see inside is not the universe. In Shiva is Hari, and Hari is not Shiva. He that saves you at the time of death is Shiva. It is not Hari. Shakti is in Shiva. Maya, delusion, is in Hari. Bodies are earthly. The bodily senses are all looking outwards. Shiva is internal. He is the Brahmarandra. That which is taught by others is no real knowledge. That which has come to your experience is real knowledge. Truly, truly realize that the eternal Atman is one in all. Hari is not the knower, Shiva is the knower. What is Hari is wandering. Hari, Hari, I want this, I want that, give me, you say. This is of no use. Such a man is never happy. Let Hari merge in Hara. Burn Hari in Hara. Saying Hari Hari is nothing but mental delusion. You praise Hara, hiding this delusion in your mind. He who has given you eternal joy is Shiva. Shiva is the giver of eternal mukti, liberation, and eternal bhakti. What is Hari is keeping the mind in the world. Shiva is keeping the whole universe in one's Atman. Saying Hari Hari is going down, but Shiva is the guide to the path of bliss. Mukti is obtained by the upward course of prana. Hari is like a horse without reins. Head, Sahasrara Brahmarandra. The head is the ocean of Ananda, joy. In it is situated the Pranalinga, the seat of liberation. This cannot be learned from books. It is inherent in the brain. When Sat unites with Chit, Ananda is the result. This Ananda is Paramananda, Sri Satchidananda. Paramananda is experienced in the head. In the head is the Brahmanadi. Brahmananda is Paramananda. The Jiva enjoys this bliss when he is one with Paramatman. This bliss is also called Shivananda. Paramananda is experienced in the head. This state is eternal joy. This state is Jivan Mukti. What is visible is transient, it is perishable. When the mind is merged in Bindu and Nada, Nirvikalpa Samadhi is attained. Our attention is then entirely toward Ananda, eternal joy. Fixing the attention between the eyebrows, the prana should enter the holy Brahmarandra. Here the light of lights becomes visible to the divine eye. This is mukti. This is eternally supreme joy. This is the place where the manas ought to dwell. This is the eternal being whence the Vedas have sprung. This is seeing Paramatman in all. This is the real place of Jivatman. Just as a tire of a bicycle is filled with air by a pump, the nadis should be filled with Vedantic discrimination. Prana should be raised to Brahmarandra, the highest point in the brain. The nadis should be purified, and such purification should be done step by step. Buddhi and manas should become one with Paramatman. You should play with him. You should sit in the upper story and look around downwards. Buddhi's place is above. You must be one with the nectar of Ananda. You must know those who are always merged in this eternal joy. You should know the very secret of this Ananda. Truly, the Kundalini must be awakened. Just as we rock a child in the cradle, we should fix our attention in the head and examine what takes place there. Paramananda, supreme bliss, Sadananda, eternal bliss, are there in the head. Shivalinga is also in the head, which should be one. Our head is like a coconut fruit. In the coconut there is water and kernel. Likewise, there is water and kernel in our head. In the head is Chidakasha. It is the well of Hridayakasha. We should draw water from this well and drink it. It is no use digging a well in the earth and drinking water from it. You have a certain thing in your hand. If you look for it somewhere else, you will not find it. If you sit in an upper story, light a lamp there, and close the doors, those who are below cannot see the light. See the bioscope, see the drama. All these are seen in the head. Everything should be seen from the same place. You need not go to several places to see several things. The city of Madras can be seen from there as well as from here. It is better to see it from one place. We must idealize it in our brain. What we call the heart is not below, it is above the neck. When we are cooking, the flames go upwards, so is the heart upwards. There is light in the heart, there is no darkness in it. If a man's head be struck off, we cannot say who the man is by simply looking at his trunk. It is the heart which sees through the eye. A man must have the internal eye. What is called the heart space is the face which is triangular. We can know a certain man by looking at his face. A man must know his own secret. A man must know himself. When a train leaves a station, the next station is alerted that a train is approaching by the sound of bells ringing. What is called Bindu Nada is the bell. Just as we hear a sound when we throw a stone into a well, we hear Bindu Nada inside the head. Praise God within yourself. Praise Him in your head. You must know the secret of Parabrahman, who is eternal joy. Yes, you must know that secret. Look for Him in the heart. See Him with your inner eye, not with the outer. See the royal road with the internal eye. Leave the downward path and come to the central path. The downward path is that followed by those people who decorate the external body without knowing the secret of God. One must meditate in the head. One must meditate upon the ocean of eternal bliss. Look for the all-pervading God in the head. Truly, look at Him in the head. Hence, enjoy the eternal bliss. See this creation in the heart. Shiva is from Kashi. The heart space is Kashi. Manas is Kashi. Everything is Kashi. The eternal Atman is Kashi. What is Kashi is in the head. The 10 nadas are eternal. The subtle Kashi is the Nirvikalpa Kashi. What is Hardwar is the 9 gates in the body. It is the heart space. It is the place of peace. Yajna, sacrifice, is the immortal jnana, wisdom. The head is the mango. In it is the sweet ambrosia. This ambrosia is the essence of the 5 senses. This ambrosia is the supreme energy in man. To probe into truth requires subtle discrimination. This subtle discrimination is upadi. The subtle is hidden in the gross. The seat of upadi is the heart space. When the kundalini is raised to the heart space in the head, then the breath is single. In this highest state, one sees the universe in oneself. Then one sees everything in him. All the multitudinous changes are seen in oneself. Meditate incessantly on the Paramatma who is in the Jivatma. Space is in you, it's in the head. Meditate on the heart space which is in the head. The Lord of Mukti is Shiva. Shiva is the linga in the head. This linga is nothing but Omkar. Enlightenment is the most important thing. Without nerves, there is no sound. Bhakti may be compared to the oil in a lamp. Nadis may be compared to the wick. Subtle discrimination is the flame or the light. The nadis are the glass of the lantern. The various air holes of the lantern are the Brahmarandra. The form of discrimination is intelligence. The fruit is always at the top of the tree. Similarly, the fruit in man is upwards. If you plant a coconut in the earth, coconuts are eventually seen at the top of the coconut tree. For every tree, the fruit is at the top. The throat place is the Muladhara where the serpent power Kundalini is originated. The heart space is the place for the throat place. The heart space is in the middle of the eyebrows. Swadhisthana is in the brain. Ajna is triangular. What is called Raja Yoga is above the neck. Ajna is the locality where man attains mukti. What is called this world is Jivatma. What is called the next world is Paramatma. The union of these two is the space of consciousness. Chit is the mental mood. Sat is the one, indivisible. Shiva Shakti is one, indivisible. Shiva Shakti is salvation. Shiva Shakti is the upward breath. Shiva Shakti is Pranavayu. It is the Omkar. It is the Pranava. From Pranava is creation. Pranava is consciousness of the body. Omkar is soul consciousness. Omkar is like the kernel in a dry coconut. The finite becomes one with the infinite. The river becomes one with the sea. The mental moods are the rivers. The indivisible Shiva Shakti is the sea. Just as paper when burnt in fire loses its individuality, the mind loses its individuality in the Atman. 5 or 6 roads may have only one junction. We may travel by these roads either by walking or by train. The body is the train by which we come and go. Creation disappears in primordial nature. Coming out from this primordial nature is called creation. Entering into it again is called destruction. When you are conscious of the body and of nothing else, it is creation. For Raja Yoga, there is no particular action prescribed. There is no Shiva worship. There is no particular place. All this takes place to a Raja Yogi in the brain center. Salutation takes place in the brain center. If one salutes in the brain center, it reaches all. When the Jiva leads the Shiva Shakti in man internally to the center of the brain and there becomes one with Shiva, the indivisible, mukti is realized. Brahmananda is for him who has attained this mukti. Always concentrate on Shiva. In the beginning was Shiva. In the beginning there was Shiva Shakti alone. The great protector is the eternal Ananda. The great desirelessness is the eternal Ananda. He who is without desire is without the 3 qualities, the gunas. That is real virtue. You are the king of yourself. You are the lord of mukti. Look within yourself. The real form is the human form. Man stands at the head of the animal kingdom. In this world there is nothing higher than man. It is man that has created all the countries. The head is the seat where the smell of musk, sandal paste, camphor, and concentrated camphor is experienced. Ants swarm at the place where there is sugar, where the sound of Omkar is experienced. there is no ignorance. That which is seen by the spiritual eye is the real heart. That which is seen by the physical eye is not the real heart. The greatest is the head. The origin of breath is true Ananda. The real Ananda is in the cavity of the heart. The house of breath is the dwelling of Kundalini. This is the house of Shiva. This is our real happy home of peace. This is the home of Sattva Guna. One who lives in this house does not care for honor and dishonor. This is the home of a yogi who has renounced everything. This is the home of those who have the power of subtle discrimination. This is the home of Kundalini. This home is the heart home. The engine, body, does not move without steam, prana. A coconut tree does not yield jackfruits. What one talks about without experience is in vain. The judge and the magistrate hear what the plaintiff and the defendant say, and they form an idea of the case, but they do not know the truth of the case. It is not enough if you have sugar in your hand, you must taste it to know its sweetness. Although there is water in the bowels of the earth, we must dig a well in order to get the water. The main thing is the internal practice, and the union of prana with Parabrahman in the center of the brain. This is seeing God face to face. This is the fulfillment of yoga. This is the eternal peace. All creation is mental. The body is nothing but a means to an end. Shakti is of the Atman. The highest tower is the head. This is the seat of the Atman. This is the sky of consciousness. This is the greatest support. The Ajna Chakra is the support. The seat of Kundalini is the heart sky. What is traveling in a train is the thought of the Atman. The mail train is the Hatha Yogi. The local train is the Raja Yogi. The difference is only in time. Although the velocity is the same, time differs. This difference is the delusion of the mind. Think and think about Brahman. Mind, though seemingly different, is one and one only. Mind, when it is one-pointed, is great indeed. This mind is the eternal mind. This eternal mind is supreme joy. This eternal mind is called Chidakasha. A clean mind is a clean space. A clean space is Siddhi. This clean space is yoga. This clean space is the heart. When you move in this clean space, it is fulfillment. When you move in this clean space, the difference between you and I will vanish. In this clean space is mukti, bhakti, shakti, and the path suitable. This clean space is buddhi. When the jiva dwells in this clean space, the attachments to sense objects will be burnt away. This clean space is brahmarandra. What is called Raja Yoga is above the neck. What is called the color cavity is above the neck. Mantra is this Brahmarandra. Mantra is the minister to prana. This prime minister of prana is Atma Bindu, the Atma point, which is spaceless, timeless, and causeless. In the midst of this is eternal mantra. In the midst of this is Chidakasha. This Chidakasha is Chit. This is supreme joy. This is the supreme medicine. This supreme medicine is the supreme guru, whose mantra is Tatvamasi. That art thou, thou art that. Subtle intelligence should be concentrated in the head. The intelligence should be concentrated at the top of the Sushumna. Both the mind and buddhi should be in the head. The mind must be in the buddhi, buddhi in the mind. Discrimination is from buddhi, and from discrimination is effected the union of Jivatman and Paramatman. The prana must be firmly fixed in an upward direction with great faith. That is the path to liberation. This body is like a cave to the Atman, and in this cave dwells the eternal Atman. Yoga means becoming one. When the two become one, that is yoga. When the mind and buddhi become one, it is called yoga. When the jiva travels by the path of buddhi and enters the brahmarandra, it is called yoga. Buddhi should be concentrated in the head. Your attention should always be above the neck, never below the neck. Whatever one may be doing, the attention should be fixed in the head. The guiding light of a steamer is on the top. Similarly is the brahmarandra to a sannyasi. Human distinctions. He who meditates on the reality is a sannyasi. He is a yogi. The distinction of pariah exists in the external. Internally, all is one without distinction. What is pariah is not after death. A pariah is he who has envy and pride, who holds vain discussion about religion, who talks ill of others behind their backs. Sewing is not stitching thread and cloth, but stitching manas and buddhi, merging manas in buddhi. Now the distinction of male and female. A true female is one who is merged in the external. A true male is one who is merged in the internal. One whose buddhi is firm is male. One whose buddhi is fickle is a female. The distinction of male and female is external only. Internally, such a distinction does not exist at all. When the manas and buddhi are merged in the Atman, one who is physically a woman becomes spiritually a man. In the beginning there was only one religion propagated by Shiva. In the beginning there was no difference like man and woman among human beings. This distinction was only in the gross nature. In the subtle nature all was one. The subtle has no qualities. The subtle receives only the eternal Ananda everywhere. Having and seeing is all mental delusion. The visible world is transient. Mean dispositions of the mind are senselessness. This senselessness is the pariah. Joking and mocking at others, hypocrisy, pride and envy and so on are the pariah characteristics. He whose skin is black, he whose clothes are black is not a pariah. A man who has a turban on his head, a wristwatch on his wrist, is a pariah if he does not recognize the equality in all. One who is a pauper is not a pariah, but he who is selfish and is full of differences is a pariah. He is not a man who has not realized the truth of Vedanta. Liberation in one's lifetime is that Vedanta which is like a trained horse. But the Vedanta which is like a wild elephant is not mukti but delusion. When we call a man pariah, it is nothing but mental delusion. A piece of cloth goes equally well into the mouth of a pariah or Brahman. A Brahman does not use even the chunam touched by a pariah. He does not sit on the same mat with a pariah. Someone acts like this, another sees it or hears of it, and he blindly imitates it. Those who call another a pariah are themselves pariahs. Suppose there is a bunch of plantains. From the plantains of the same bunch we prepare various sorts of eatables. The plantain is a fruit. If it is cut into slices and fried, it is no longer called a plantain, it is called fried slices. So also variously named preparations are made from plantains, from the same bunch. In the beginning, there was only one bunch. Preparations are manifold. The original form is one only. So also in all creatures, the sound of Omkar is one only. Anybody can handle a lamp without distinction of caste and creed. So also the sun gives the same light to all. Sun is visible to all alike. Fire is visible to all alike. Supreme buddhi, intelligence, and jnana, knowledge, are one to those who have developed in them the power of the internal eye. If one bathes in a river, his body becomes clean, let him be a pariah or a Brahmin or a child. Likewise, the internal state of man is the same, though the exterior of every man may appear to be different. All do not feel hungry at the same time and to the same degree. Similarly, all do not attain mukti at the same time. There is only a difference of time. Men dispute among themselves because of the difference of language. In Hindustani, sugar is called mita. In other languages, it is called sakare, and so on. The use of sugar is the same to all. Although the sugar may be put to different uses, the places where it reaches is only one. Ignorance, avidya. One who has not realized the truth is a beggar. One who has not destroyed delusion, one who has not left off the downward worldly path is a beggar. Those who are indifferent to honor and dishonor enjoy bliss, true bliss, which is the same as Brahmananda, at one-ment with the Godhead. If we concentrate our intellectual powers for 5 minutes, we feel that bliss. Those who have not realized the primordial cause have not realized the goal of life. Like moths falling into the flame of a burning lamp, those who have not realized the truth are caught in the net of delusion. The moths repeatedly see the lamp. They repeatedly hover around the lamp, and at last they fall into it and die. Inner consciousness. If any powder falls into the eye, our attention is turned on the eye. Similarly, if our outer attention is directed inwards, it is called introversion, internal sight. Ignorance is like a casket of powder. The possessor of a box only knows what is contained in it. Others do not know it. The real wealth is the energy of life. Intelligence is the box. The box is locked after the wealth is stored in it. Locking the box is giving the manas its proper place in the head. That thing received is the soul in man. Turn your soul to God within yourself. Realize internally your own secret. The universe is in you, and you are in the universe. The inner man is the one in all. He who is there and he who is here is the one and the same. Japa. If you keep sugar apart from us, we cannot have the experience of its sweetness. If we eat it, then only we know its taste. A man cannot get mukti if he simply repeats Rama, Krishna, or Govinda for 1,000 years. He must repeat it heartily. Jnana. A man or woman should be educated. What is education? The jiva should know the secret that he is the Paramatman. Seeing earthen and stone images is not seeing God. It is mind's hallucination when you regard images as God. Without true jnana, mukti cannot be attained. Our taking human birth is the effect. Giving it back is the cause. We must know the cause and effect. Likewise, we must know the good and the evil, the right and the wrong. Knowing all, peace must be attained. The book consists of parts, but jnana is the indivisible one. A book consists of chapters, but jnana is single-chaptered. For those who have not realized, a book is necessary, but to a man of realization there is only one undivided being. When a man takes birth, he is not born with a book in his hand, but he is born with a brain. While coming into this world and going away from this world, a man has no book in his hand. Only in the middle period he takes a book. At the place where there is running water there can be no mud. The place is quite clean. Ignorance, ajnana, is mud. The current of water is bhakti and jnana. Buddhi must become one with jnana. You should always drink the water of eternal joy. When we are little children, we do not know who is our father and who is our mother. When we grow up, we come to know our parentage. When a chicken eats, it scratches everything towards it with its feet. Similarly, when a man's intellect is developed, he becomes selfish. Every day men die, every day men are born, but rarely do they burn their selfishness. Selfishness completely disappears when the divisible becomes one with the indivisible. From rice, various kinds of eatables such as ambada and halva are prepared. These preparations are not called rice. The match is in the matchbox. Light is in the match. Rub the match and kindle the fire. Ajnana is darkness. Jnana is the light. If you see the dawn in the heart sky, it is possible to describe it. One must experience these things in one's Atman. What is called jnana is in buddhi, intelligence. Those in whom buddhi and jnana have become one can describe what this is. Those in whom intelligence and jnana are separate cannot describe what it is. What is called subtle discrimination is the union of buddhi and jnana. The reflection of the sun ripples in the water, so also is mind. If mind is fickle, it is enamored of Maya. This madness, delusion, is caused by the gross. There is a madness caused by subtle discrimination. This is divine madness. The gross madness is the gross discrimination. Whatever we may eat, the path of food to the stomach is the same. When you walk in darkness, you have fear. But in light, there is no fear. Ignorance is darkness. Knowledge is the light. Guru is such a light. Light is Guru. Once the well should be emptied of its water. All the mud should be removed. The water which then comes is the purest. Jnana is like this pure water. Once you burn away the thought of I and mine, then non-attachment to the objects of the senses will result of its own accord. The jiva is like a calf tied in a room. The calf is always eager to go out of the room. So also the jiva is very eager to drink jnana, which is like amrita. Pleasure and pain are things to be merged in buddhi. By the help of buddhi, one must attain moksha. When the mind is merged in the Atman, and when oneness is realized, one attains moksha. Jnana is internal. At the beginning, jnana can be known. As one progresses, this jnana is also forgotten. Then there is nothing to be said, or nothing to be listened to. All is Brahman, and Brahman is all. This state may be called the state of nothingness.
So what in particular? What means Lila?
Jnani. Jnanis are mindless. To jnanis, knowers, all are the same. They have no slumber, no dreams, nor sleep. They are always in sleep, the yoga nidra. The sun and the moon are the same to them. To them it is always sunrise. When a man is entirely sunk in cold water, he no longer feels the cold of the cold water. A perfect man is not subject to anger. In the infinite, there is no finite. To a jnani, there is no ajnani. To an ajnani, there is no jnani. If all the children beat a mother, she does not throw them away. He is a jnani who has given up worldly pleasures, and by practicing yoga seen God. Ananda is not what you hear. Bliss is a matter of experience. Such a man is called a Mahatma. Those who have seen earthen and stone images do not become Mahatmas. He is a Mahatma who knows himself. Vayu, the air, is imperishable. It is one, indivisible. It exists in everything. When the glass chimney of a lamp is shut, there is no light. When it is not shut, the lamp shines brightly. If we take earth and imagine it to be sugar, it is sugar only in thought. The nature of earth is not changed. So also, even if a man becomes a yogi or a jnani, the nature of the body does not leave him. Manas becomes one with Brahman, not the body. Jnanis are subject to the limitations of the body. Since their manas is annihilated, they are not aware of the bodily condition. A man in sleep, if bitten by a cobra, is not aware of the cobra bite, and he is not affected by it. Similarly, jnanis are not aware of their body, and hence the bodily conditions do not affect them. When a letter written in English or in any tongue is given to a child of 5 or 6 months old, the child throws away that letter and it cannot know what is contained in it. A child of 6 months old does not at all know the difference between a diamond and a lump of earth. Such children have no idea of the body. They are always in the thought of Atma. Children have no idea of duality. When their brains develop, they become aware of differences. When the brain is not developed, prana in such a child is in the sushumna. As the child is growing month by month, it gets knowledge of various things. Earlier knowledge is of no use. When a man is in the knowledge of all, he must be like a child. A true jnani is just like a child of 6 months. Such a child is not conscious of its own calls of nature. It does not distinguish between the two calls of nature. Jnanis are similar. They do not like one thing and dislike the other. They have no idea of poison. The administrator of poison should think about it. The jnani, the eater, never cares for it. Likewise, a jnani does not say, I want dinner, I want that. They are always well established in the internal Atman. The subtle intellect is buddhi or jnana. The internal concentration is one-pointed. The gross intellect is like a horse which is not controlled by reins. The intelligence which is acquired from others is not permanent. It is not Hari, it is not Shiva. That which is imparted by the Guru is the subtle intelligence. It is never gross. The gross intelligence is bestial. He is not a man who does not return what he has received. He who has a burden on his head has his attention on that burden. Similarly, he who acts the part of a king in a field drama has his attention fixed on the crown. Likewise, jnanis have their attention fixed on buddhi. You do not feel the scent of a flower which is in your own hand. Flowers which are distant smell sweet. Babies whose brains are not developed see no difference in the things of this world. When their brains are developed, they see differences in things. Until a baby is 6 months old, it feels no differences. A first-class yogi is like a baby of this type. If you give a diamond to a baby, it throws it away. To such babies, pebbles and diamonds are the same. Similarly, to true jnanis, a lump of earth and money are the same. They have no desires of any sort. They see the one Atman everywhere. All is seen in the Atman, and the Atman in all. This vision is internal. What is called internal vision is subtle discrimination. Subtle discrimination is Shiva Shakti. Shiva Shakti is the indivisible Shakti of the Parabrahman. What is Parabrahman is the Atman. This is the one reality. Those who are physically blind have no knowledge of forms. To such, light is of no use. Those who have destroyed mental modifications have destroyed all desires. Such people are not subject to dreams. There was a bare plain. There a traveler's bungalow was erected. Scarcely 2 days had passed when a meeting was held there. Chunam was used to cement the stones. The walls were all whitewashed. On the very day of whitewashing, a meeting was held. A certain coolie was appointed to warn the people attending the meeting lest their feet and bodies be besmeared with the chunam. The meeting was over and all the people dispersed, but the coolie stayed behind. Afterwards, many a meeting was held in the bungalow. There was nobody in the bungalow to tell the coolie, "You were engaged with a certain salary a month, now take your salary up today and go away. From tomorrow your services are not required." Yet the coolie continues to do his duty. So is a jnani in the midst of worldly people. There are many people in this world who behave like the people in this bungalow. They are ignorant of the subtle. They are ignorant of what karma is, hence the comparison of the world to this bungalow. In a similar way, you must understand all matters. One is standing still, another is working. All are imitating one another. They are ignorant of both justice and injustice. After knowing justice, they will not stoop to injustice. For a just man, it is very difficult to do injustice. Such a man will never tell a lie, even though his tongue were to be torn asunder. An unjust man wants everything. A just man wants nothing. He is not afraid of anyone. The whole world is in him. The minds of the unjust people are in the world. It is the duty of every human being to know what is justice and what is injustice. Birds are like airplanes. Men are like beasts. Beasts are like men. Dogs are like jnanis. If you feed a dog, it will never forget you till its death. It will have constant love for the master who has fed it but once. Men have no subtle discrimination. They think not whence they have come and whither they are bound. A man of perfectly ripe understanding should be like a dog. If you go to see a king, you have not the boldness to tell him to his face what his defects are, but behind his back you criticize him. So also worldly people are not bold enough to criticize a jnani to his face. If you gaze at the brilliance of the sun and come into the house, you see nothing for a while. Similarly, if you emerge from a dark place into a light place, you cannot know whence you emerged. Suppose a man awakes from a sleep out of fear and sits up. Then he is so confused that he has no clear knowledge of anything. So also jnanis who are always in yoga nidra, the yogic sleep, do not know anything about the external world. If you have an umbrella, your head does not become wet by rainwater. Those who take meals daily have hunger. Those who are entirely merged in cold water do not feel cold. A perfect man is never excited to anger. A fried seed cannot sprout. Like gold well burnished, your mind should always be pure. A jnani loves all as a cow loves its own calf. This is what is called same-sidedness. There is no house which is without doors. There is no cooking without vessels. A dog feeds on food cooked either in earthen vessels or in gold vessels. Birds think of today's necessities, never tomorrow's. Brahmahood means realization of oneness within oneself. Pindanda, the microcosm, is that which is visible outside. Brahmanda, macrocosm, is seen inwards. This macrocosm is beyond creation. Creation is a mental condition. Atma is uncreate. Mind has spheres of all sorts. All creation appears to exist only to the embodied. When the external is internalized, there is an end of all fear. If you have gold ornaments on your body, you have fear of thieves. Those who have not such ornaments have no cause for sorrow. They have one-sidedness. Desire is in those who see with the physical eye. They see differences. Desire causes a man to work. Desirelessness is mukti. Desirelessness for fruit is jivan mukti. This is the state of an avadhuta. This state is a subtle one. Jnanis have the internal sight. They have annihilated the manas. They experience one spirit everywhere. They have no idea of differences. They have realized the one indivisible. In the gross state there are differences. The internal breath is not divisible. It is indivisible. It is one. The idea of grossness is all mental. The subtle state is atmic. Jnanis always enjoy yoga nidra. They are in this state whether they are sitting or walking. Jnanis may be compared to a tortoise. These animals project their limbs outside only when necessary. At all other times they keep themselves inside the shell. Atma is not perceived by the senses. Atma is quite different from the senses. It is perceptible to jnana. It is free from the body idea. Those are yogis who know the true nature of the senses and behave according to that knowledge. Those are called Mahatmas. What they utter is Veda word. They are like the seeds of the tamarind fruit. The tamarind matter is sticky to the touch, but the seed is perfectly pure. The heart of a Mahatma is like the tamarind seed, perfectly pure. These Mahatmas are ever young. For a jnani there is no age idea. Fill a lamp with oil and light the wick. When the oil becomes less, the wick comes lower and lower and the light becomes less and less. If you again supply the lamp with oil and light the wick, the light shines as before. Similar is the internal life of a jnani. Their mental life is like butter placed in water. The butter does not sink in water, it floats above water. The body is like the water, and the butter the soul.
अपने दादी जिन महीने से हमारे सामने में अमेरिका जाता है तब आदमी देखने में कोई नहीं.
Kundalini. Kundalini is the eternal bliss. Yes, it is so. Eternal bliss is in the heart. Infinite light is Kundalini. Kundalini is the light of Brahma, Brahma Jyoti. The sunlight is the subtle light. The energy called Kundalini should be roused by pranayama. By rousing Kundalini, a man must attain liberation. The subtle power of Kundalini must be comprehended by the path of buddhi. By discrimination and shraddha, faith, the prana should be heated in the sushumna like boiling milk and led towards the sahasrara in the head. When the Kundalini crosses the various chakras in the body, our bodily qualities change. The change of one quality means the change of one birth. When the prana is led upwards through the chakras, peace of mind and forgiveness are acquired. 5 chakras and 5 houses, Panchabhutas, should be crossed, and the 6th chakra should be reached. After conquering the 6 qualities, Satchidananda should be entered into. After enlightening the Agnya Chakra, Akasha and Agni Mandala, the sphere of internal fire should be attained. Shakti and Shiva should be one, present, past, and the future. The place of these is Bindu. In Bindu is Jnana fire. This should be meditated upon, and Pranalinga should be entered into. Let Prana become one with Shiva. Conquer both Yantra and Mantra. Let Buddhi, proceeding through Akasha, go to the center of the sky of consciousness, and there be one with the dawn of the Atman. Let the qualities of karma be sacrificed, and let the jiva, by the path of pure Akasha, become one with Paramatman. Let the jiva take his stand on the top of the Sushumna, which is his real home. Let the feeling of mine and yours disappear. Let all the qualities of the jiva be unified, and man become a siddha and be fearless. Knowing the path of the Atman, O mind, distribute spiritual food to others. Knowing the path of the Atman, O mind, conquer both birth and death. O mind, be free from birth and death, O mind. Man. All are men. There is no incarnation higher than man. Man is the greatest of animals, but those are the best of men who ponder over the subtle. Ekadashi means the worship of the One. To such a man every day is Ekadashi. Those are called men who have such an Ekadashi. A man should think very little about the gross. He should spend much of his time in meditation of the subtle. A dead thing is without motion, it is soundless. A living thing has the delusion of sound, it has consciousness. Conscious creatures have impressions and movements. Creatures conscious of sound have the delusion of sound. They have the light of Brahma in them. Consciousness of creatures is light. Men know the distinction between justice and injustice. Lower animals have no distinction of such a sort. Man stands at the head of all creation. There is nothing impossible for man in this world. Man is in the universe, and the universe is in man. Man is the greatest of animals. Mind in man is fickle. In man both this world and the next merge. Shivaloka is the third divine eye. The Shiva Nadi is the Sushumna Nadi, also called the Brahma Nadi. Maya. Salt is obtained from seawater. When it is mixed with water, it becomes one with it. Similarly, Maya springs from Paramatman and finally merges in him. When a boy has passed the first standard and he goes to the second grade, books of the first standard are no longer required by him. When a man is in sound sleep, he sees neither the stars nor the sun nor the moon. He is aware of nothing. Then the mind is nil. Sleep is a subtle condition. It is not gross. In sound sleep, we are not conscious of the body. Then we are conscious of Atma alone. We will have sleep when prana is in a fixed plane in the body. When the ego is completely destroyed, everything seems to be like a reflection. The mind's delusion is not permanent. It is not Shiva. We must not be fooled by the shadow, the reflection. What is called Maya is delusion. To distinguish between the subtle and the gross is delusion. The delusion caused by the subtle and the gross are the same. The delusion caused by the gross is multitudinous. To say that this is different from that is itself delusion. This delusion is caused by the mind. Look into the heart and realize the delusion called worldly joy. See the eternal soul in the heart. Yes, see it. You must say what you experience. You must not speak from hearsay. Speak what you have experienced. What is hearsay is no reality. What is hearsay is no Ananda. What has repeatedly come to your experience is Ananda. There is a station where 4 railroads meet. One train goes to Calcutta, another to Bombay, a third to Madras, and a fourth to some other place. They all start from one station and they reach one station only. Similarly is Maya. Maya is born of us and it disappears in us. It is like butter and milk. Butter emanates from milk and it merges in milk. The sayings of a great sage last long. Even if there is none to hear them, they continue to live long. The Lord of Shiva Loka is nothing but Shiva Shakti. What is Maya is in Shiva. Shiva is not in Maya. Creation and destruction are both Maya caused by him. In the Paramatman, everything becomes latent effect. Soul, Manas, Brahma, waking consciousness, Tadaka, sleep, extreme ignorance, and the whole of the external world. Shiva is in you. You are in Shiva. Maya is in you. Creation and destruction are both in Maya. Those who are free from the bondage of the qualities, the Trigunas, are free from Maya. He who is free from the delusion that he is the body is nothing but bliss incarnate. That which is free from the idea of honor and dishonor is internal. Mind itself is Maya. It is the mind that creates images or ideas, all sorts of relations, all creation, cause and effect, light and universe, universal light and the supreme light. All these differences are caused by one's own ignorance. When this is realized, there is no fear of Maya. Meditation. From the beginning, there is only one religion taught by Shiva. If you sit in a room closing the doors, you do not see anything outside. When the doors are closed, the Jiva communes with Shiva. When the doors are not closed, the Jiva is separated from Shiva. Mind, Manas Buddhi. The glass of a chimney lamp, when covered with carbon, is not transparent. Similarly, the carbon of the mind should be removed. Just as camphor is consumed by the flames of fire, so also the mind must be consumed by soul fire. There are matches in a matchbox. Fire is produced only when the match is rubbed against the side of the box. So also the manas is the match. Buddhi, intelligence, is the side of the box. We should rub the manas against buddhi, and then we get the kingdom of Atman, which is the same as the liberation from the cycle of birth and death. Manas is the gingerly, the sesame seed. Buddhi is the oil mill. Amrita is the oil. Buddhi is the king. Manas is the minister. Manas should be subordinated to buddhi. Your mind should not flicker like the reflection of the sun in the shaking water. The seawater is boundless. The tank water has a boundary. Our mind must be like the tank water. Mind is the cause of good and evil. A man may be good and bad according to his good or bad thoughts. God does not do good or evil to any man. The reason is intelligence and knowledge are the divine faculties in man. A man protected by good thoughts cannot be harmed even by a cannon shot. Without yoga, liberation from karma is impossible. Mind is the creator of ideas. When the gross ideas are suppressed and the man lives in the subtle, this state is called nirvikalpa samadhi, or samadhi without ideas. Just as we teach a bird how to talk, keeping it in a cage with its feet bound, we must keep our mind in our buddhi. A man must learn for himself. The mind is the seat of sin. It is the cause of action, good and bad. Mind is the cause of all these. If there is no mind, there is no speech. Without the mind, nothing can come and nothing can go. But for the mind, nothing can be accomplished. Suppose one knows how to speak English, but he does not know how to write it. Then we cannot say he knows English fully. When he knows both, then only can he secure a passing grade in English. A man's mind never remains stationary. Chitta is the cause of desire. Sat is the one indivisible. It is the one subtle which is everlasting. Chit is always changing. When Sat unites with Chit, the result is Ananda. This Ananda is Satchidananda, Sri Nityananda, Sri Paramananda. Union of the Jiva and Paramatma is Ananda, Yogananda, Paramananda, Satchidananda, and Brahmananda. Yukti, skill, is like walking on foot. Shakti is that which enters the heart. Sannyasa is like going on a train. He who goes on foot is a wanderer. The body is the train. The passenger in the train is manas. If there are no passengers, manas, the train will not move. Tickets will not be issued. People will not gather. Then there is neither the first class nor the second nor the third. Manas is the class of peace. The master of the chariot is buddhi. The engine is the head. The nerves and the blood vessels are the screws. That which moves in the nerves and blood vessels is vayu, air. When you have attained perfect peace, there is no necessity of going anywhere. There is no necessity of seeing anything. There is no necessity of going to Kashi, Rameshwara, Gokarna, and other holy places. All is seen in the mind. Going and coming are delusions of the mind. When peace is attained, all appears to be the one. Liberation from bondage is seeing the one in all and the all in one. This is desirelessness. The thing in the hand must be seen in the hand itself. You cannot find it anywhere else. So also, everything must be tested in one's own thought. Manas is inferior to buddhi. Buddhi is the king. Manas is the prime minister. The prime minister must go to the palace often to see the king. So also Manas is the king of the body. One who has annihilated the Manas is the universal teacher. When buddhi, understanding, has attained acute discriminating power, we will experience Vivekananda, the bliss of discrimination. Vivekananda is Paramananda, Satchidananda. When existence, Sat, and knowledge, Chit, become one, Ananda will result. This is Brahmananda, Shivananda. To ride a horse safely in the midst of a crowd of 2,000 people, the rider must be efficient. Buddhi, intelligence, is above. Manas, mind, is below. Buddhi is the king. Manas is the prime minister. Mind must be subordinate to buddhi. The first is sound. The second is the impression which the sound carries. Whatever may be the contents of letters and postcards and various newspapers, the box in which they are posted is the same. The tongue distinguishes between things pungent and things sour. To the mind there is no such difference. Just as we cage a bird binding its legs and then teach it to speak, so also intelligence becomes one with the soul when it is caged in the cage of manas. The umbrella does not hold the man. All is held by the mind. When the mental moods are destroyed, all differences disappear. Such a man has no desire. He is a sannyasi. He is a yogi. A man who has manas wants everything. A man who has no manas has everything in himself. Just as in a steamer there are all sorts of accommodations, so also a man who has conquered the mind has the whole world in himself. When a boat is sailing, everything around appears to move. So also when mind is disappearing, everything appears to whirl round. What is experienced in sleep is not experienced in the waking state. What is experienced in the waking state is not experienced in sleep. If you place a vessel without water over fire, no sound is produced. In order to produce sound, water is necessary. So also, those who have no subtle discrimination will not be benefited. If you are bitten by a cobra in sleep, you will not die. In sleep, mind is quiet. When there is manas, there is everything. What is called creation is a mental affliction. When there is thorough introspection, there is no creation. The water is hot only so long as it is kept on the fire. But when the vessel is kept on the ground, the water becomes cooler and cooler. Our buddhi must be like the water placed over a fire. Similarly, faith should be constant. Dharana is the means by which the buddhi's power of discrimination is increased. Dharana is the path to mukti. Dharana is the path leading to the highest. For prana to become steady, dharana is a means. When life energy becomes steady, the mind becomes steady. When prana is given an upward direction, then jnana enters every nadi, and peace is the result. Then nature and the subtle become separated. Then powers resulting from yoga, peace of mind, forgiveness, and patience, these are experienced in the buddhi. Those who practice constant dharana feel that the whole external world is existing in themselves. One should, being quite steady in mind, be enjoying eternal joy, Nityananda. If you have manas, you want everything. If you have no manas, you do not want anything. If you have manas, God becomes a separate being for you. When you have merged manas and buddhi, you have no separate God. All appears as one. If you have desire, you want a separate God, because God's help is necessary to accomplish your desire. Then the manas goes after the various objects of the senses and causes doubt about various matters. Then one feels the necessity of an idol or image. Cause and effect appear to be two separate categories. Image worship is due to maya or ignorance. Just as camphor is lost in fire, mind and buddhi become one with each other. Like little children rocked to sleep, chitta, being placed in buddhi, must know who the I is. The body may sit firm, but it is the mind that should sit firm. Those whose minds are not purified seldom have equal-sightedness. Those who do not practice will have great difficulty in possessing the sattva quality in them. The subtle intelligence is developed by practice. Unless you practice, the desire for worldly things cannot be destroyed. Hankering after landed property, after women, and after gold is difficult to be extinguished. What is the thing to be attained by man? When the chitta is free from the three forces, sattva, rajas, and tamas, it is called purushartha. Just as dirty linen becomes clean when washed in soap water, so also chitta should be purified by washing it in the soap water of buddhi, and it must be made as pure as space. When you learn sewing on a machine, in the beginning your attention must be fixed, not on the legs but on the hands. When we fix our attention on buddhi and make the mind merge into heart space, then we will attain that eternal peace which is called Nityananda. Those whose minds are pure may call God by any name they please. The jiva, because he is engrossed in the various qualities of the world, has forgotten his real Atman and has occupied a lower rank. Let him take a higher upward direction by the help of buddhi. The mind is like cotton placed in the wind. Devotion to God is like water poured on the cotton. Similar is the destruction of the mind. The mind which is like cotton should be wetted by the water of jnana, and the chitta should be freed from desires. That is moksha. In the manner of the cotton, let man attain mukti. A man may meditate on the Atman although he is engaged in various actions. The various objects of the senses are outside us, not inside us. Even when we are performing various actions, it is not possible to keep the buddhi separate from them. If a car driver, when he steers the car, takes his hands off of the wheel, the car runs in whatsoever direction and is endangered. Mind should be in buddhi. We must not let the mind wander. Mind should be fixed on internal dhyana. Mind should be developed by the power of introspection. O mind, enter the sky of consciousness by developing the subtle buddhi and filling every nadi of the body with this buddhi. O mind, be always content. O mind, do not be deluded by shadowy appearances. The mind filled with eternal ananda is the seed of all things. The mind filled with eternal ananda is the subtle seed of all things. Let this be developed with discrimination. The mind filled with eternal ananda is that without qualities. It is the diseaseless. It is the universal reason. It is called the Creator. It is the witness of all. It is the one sat for this world and the next. It is the one pervading in and out. It is knowledge higher and lower, jnana and vijnana. It is the one cause and effect. It is the universal witness. It is the stainless Atman, witness of all. It is the universal Guru. It is the universal light. It is the universal father and mother. It is the Bindu in Omkar. It is Ma, Ah, E, Om, the great, movable, and the seen. Om, the essence. It is what is declared by the sages as the truth. Moksha, mukti, liberation. Paramatman is in Jivatman. The real mukti is to know the subtle in the gross. Cow milk can never be bitter. The stone fixed in the earth cannot speak. By visiting places of pilgrimage like Varanasi and Rameshwaram, a man cannot attain mukti. What is essential is keeping the mind steady for a moment by introversion. This world means Jivatma. The next world means the union of Jivatman and Paramatman. Mukti is according to the nature of our bhakti. If you try hard, you get a good salary. If you try little, you get a small salary. There are many people in this world to take care of those who have passed the ICS, the Indian Civil Service Examination. But there is none to inquire about the path to divinity. No one can describe what the bliss of mukti means and what it is. That religion which was taught by Shiva from the beginning of creation is one and one only. Feeling of duality is hell. Feeling of absolute oneness is mukti. Absolute bhakti, love, is mukti. Perfect peace, never perturbed peace, is the goal of man. This is Yogananda, Paramananda. The ocean is bigger than all the rivers. The sea is almost boundless. You cannot measure the water of the ocean. It is not possible to practice bhakti leaving off samsara. Being in samsara, we must attain mukti by being this thing and by doing that thing. What is desire is samsara. Desirelessness is mukti. Then one will enjoy eternal bliss, eternal wisdom bliss. Eternal peace, which is the highest bliss, is the goal of man. When the mind is swimming in eternal bliss, it is known as mukti. Why is man called man? The true man is he who ruminates, who performs manana. If you do not know the path leading to Brahman, you will be born again and again. If you do not know the path, you will have no contentment. This contentment consists in doing your duty without attachment to the results. This non-attachment to results of action is called mukti. It is also called the supreme joy. Desire is hell. Desirelessness is supreme joy. The supreme position is Shiva Shakti. Shiva Shakti is the knower of both the visible and the invisible. He who desires mukti should at once give up the idea I am the body. Such people alone can realize the Atman. To those who think I am this body, it is very difficult to see the Atman. Those who hold fast to the idea I and mine may practice for 1,000 years, yet they will not attain even the slightest fraction of Shanti. All these forms are my own forms. Thus should a wise man meditate. When the mind becomes firm in meditation, and when the supreme oneness is realized in the sky of consciousness, it is called moksha. The path of moksha is not far from one's Atman. Like the distance between the eye and ears, the distance between sin and merit is very slight. Moksha is not beyond buddhi. Moksha does not come in search of us. We should search for moksha and enter therein. What is moksha? Moksha is freedom of the mind from actions and standing apart from the internal state. Moksha is not to be attained by a different outward path. What is moksha is not different from one's Atman. We have not striven for moksha, so we feel that it is far off from us. Moksha is not a thing to be attained by going here and by going there. One should search within oneself. The mind should be merged in buddhi, and by the path of discrimination one should enter mukti. God is the indivisible one. Because of his doubts, man has made images and called it God due to ignorance, Maya. This doubt should be removed by the path of discrimination. By doing so, he must attain Jivan Mukti, liberation from bondage in this very life. Enjoy eternal peace. When the buddhi is enlightened, every man comes to know his own defects and merits. Like one's reflection in the mirror, the various desires of the mind will be visible to buddhi. The gross and the subtle will seem to be separate, like the reflection of the sky in clear water. These experiences will be had by those who have realized the Atman. The internal state of man will be like an object sunk in water. In all forms, the One is seen. So be sunk in the water of jnana. Let the desires of the mind be washed in the Ganges of the Atman. Thus realize Ananda. Enter Mukti. O mind, while sitting, lying, sleeping, and walking, be on the path of Mukti and enter it. For Mukti to be attained, no particular time is prescribed. When you are walking in the company of others, let your mind be in the sky of consciousness. Let the mind with Shraddha, faith, drink the nectar of Mukti, liberation. Realizing Bhakti and Mukti to be one, become one with Omkar. Let the 10 Indriyas become slaves of Buddhi, like a bird deprived of its wings. Let prana, which is moving in 10 directions, be made to move in one direction only. Let this be done internally. Let prana enter the Chidakasha, the space of pure consciousness. Let internal peace be attained. Let mukti be attained in same-sightedness, seeing the one in all. Having attained mukti, let them see the whole universe as freed from bondage. The body is the engine, knowledge, jnana, is the steam, discrimination is the movement, shraddha is the line. Knowing this, let the train be driven. The driver is the intellect, buddhi. The digestive system is the boiler. The nadis are the screw. Knowing this, enter the Atman by the subtle oath of buddhi. Attain thou peace. Just as the train moves on rails, so also discrimination should move on the path of subtle buddhi. To those who are ever merged in samadhi, the body's existence is quite foreign. To such, the gross and the subtle become separated, like the kernel and the shell of the mango seed. To those who always think I am not the body, there is no separate samadhi. They enjoy eternal samadhi, absolute samadhi, shivanata samadhi, manolaya, mind annihilation samadhi. To those who are always sunk in the sugar of jnana, sugar does not exist as a separate thing. Such men are quite regardless of the external acts and the external world. Money and possessions. Gold chains around the neck, gold jewels on the ears, gold rings on fingers. These are the causes of the fear of being robbed when they are on the body. Money is the cause of fear. When there is no gold on the body, then there is no fear. Non-dual vision. Rivers and streamlets enter into the sea and there become one. Similarly, finite things become one in the infinite. Dualism loses itself in non-dualism. Non-dualism is oneness. This realization of the oneness is the most supreme. After a man has realized oneness, he will no longer be born. Those who are immovably fixed in the idea of oneness die only when they desire to die. Such men are perfectly desireless. Realization of oneness is the most subtle one. What is same-sightedness, samadarshana, is realizing the Atman in all. This equality consists in realizing the one in the many. This is known as introspection. When the next world and this world are realized as one and the same, a man has attained same-sightedness. This is also called the union of Jivatma and the Paramatma. What is the Jiva is mental modifications, vrittis. Paramatman is the great silence, who is above the three qualities. He knows not good and evil, cold and heat. He is qualityless, formless. He is no thing. Omkar, Pranava, Om. Om is Pranava. Pranava pervades the form, the body. Om is bodilessness and formlessness. However wicked a man may be, within 5 minutes his wickedness may be changed into goodness. So long as there are clouds, the sun's rays are not visible. As soon as the clouds scatter in all directions, the sun becomes visible. Om is the tower of peace. Om is the form of peace. Om, salutation to Omkar. Omkar is one without a second. Omkar is the cause of both creation and dissolution. Omkar destroys manas. Omkar is really the Atman in you. Omkar is indivisible. A divisible object can never be indivisible. Omkar is indivisible. Omkar is creation. Omkar is Maya, action, manas, consciousness, light of consciousness. He is a man who has realized God by the internal eye. Such a man feels that the universe is in him, and he is in the universe. Mind engrossed in the world is not steady. Shiva, who dwells in the heart space, is the one, everlasting. Shiva is Omkar. Omkar is Pranava. When united with forms, it is Pranava. Omkar is the unawareness of bodily existence. Omkar is the elite of all. Omkar is like the dawn of the sun. Omkar is the witness of all. Omkar is the most frightful of all forms. Omkar is fire. There is not a greater thing in this universe than fire. Fire is pervading both internally and externally. In the middle is the earth. The earth is below. Air is above. Air pervades the universe. The universe is in air. The first is air. The second is fire. The first is discrimination. The second is sound. Soundlessness is in the form of air. Soundlessness is eternal bliss. It is existence, knowledge, bliss. The self should be merged in soundlessness. The visible world is in the self. When Sat unites with Chit, Ananda is realized. This Ananda is Vivekananda, Chaitanyananda, Sri Brahmananda, Paramananda, Sri Nityananda, and Satchidananda. What is manliness is the realization of this Ananda. This is Brahma Jnana, Yoga Jnana, Kala Jnana. This Tri-Kala Jnana is in the heart. In the heart is Mukti. Nityananda Mukti is in the heart. One is the dwelling. One is the eternal dwelling. That dwelling is Omkar. That dwelling is formless, changeless, indivisible. Future is not happy. Today is the happy day. Tomorrow is not. Day after is not. 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock is not the time. Now is the time. The indivisible time you realize by discrimination is the time. The time that you spend forgetting the goal of life is beggarly. Realization of Omkar is the annihilation of the world. Realization of Omkar is the destruction of the manas. When honor and dishonor have become one to a man, he attains Ananda, eternal joy, exhaustless joy, real joy. Then all that appears becomes nothing but joy. All things with form is Omkar. Omkar is the divine in them. What is Omkar is the subtle Bindu. Omkar pervades both in and out in the form of air. It is impossible to describe Shiva Shakti. Only those who have experienced it can describe what it is. Without experience, it is impossible to describe what Shiva Shakti is. Men of book knowledge cannot describe it, but those who have the knowledge of the Atman can describe it. Everything comes out from within, not from without. One becomes bad by oneself. One becomes good by oneself. Similarly, there should be Omkar breathing within. Then there is purity. When evil merges in the good, that evil is transformed into good. The thing in your own hand has no smell. It has no price. A thing that is got from others has smell. It has price. A Raja Yogi Mahatma is Nityananda. all-pervasive Omkar, all-pervasive Pranava. He who is Sri Guru is Nityananda. All-penetrating Omkar is the all-penetrating Pranava. The form of God is peace. Om and peace are his forms. The sacred syllable Om is like a storm in the sky. Om is without beginning or ending. Omkar is like a stage manager in a drama. As it works through the bodies of men, those bodies are pervaded by Omkar. This syllable is inside us, outside us, and everywhere. It is the cause of everything that exists. We need not bring it up to consciousness anywhere. That sound exists in everything. We need not recall it separately to memory. This energy is not divisible, but indivisible. This sound exists in every animal. Whatever sound is produced by animals, it is nothing but Omkar. What is called Pranava is another name for Omkar. When it is united with prana and moves in the body, it is called Pranava. When the nature and the subtle, the physical and non-physical, stula and sukshma are separate, it is Pranava. When we feel both to be one, then it is called the feeling of oneness. This is identical with Omkar. At that time one sees the one everywhere. That which you worship with faith becomes all. That energy called Omkar pervades the universe and is formless. It is the light in all and light of all. Ignorance and knowledge are mere phantoms, not realities. Happiness and misery will never touch a man who has realized the oneness. Devotion, reasoning, and power, these three become one and become Omkar. Egotism becomes merged in Omkar. No one wants to look at a fruitless tree. Why is man called man? Because he has manas, the thinking power, he is called man. Manas should get knowledge of various sorts, and being united with peace must become one with Omkar. Prakriti is like a railway carriage. Those who are in it are like yana. The stations are like the chakras. Within the chakras is the subtle, sukshma. The subtle is within the tube, the nadi. Within the subtle tube is the energy of the kundalini. Kundalini in the form of Omkar is in the subtle tubes. Let this subtle be known by experience. Let meditation, manas, and faith be merged into one. Let the subtle point of light be kindled between the eyebrows, and the union be established. In the Omkar, let the pure chitta be firmly fixed, following the path of subtle buddhi. Let the manas become steady, being firmly fixed in dharana and samadhi. Let the mind be one-pointed. To establish chitta in Akasha, there is no other means than samadhi. O Jiva, enter thou Akasha. To the Jiva who has entered the Akasha, there is no separate existence for this world. O mind, be quite free from the body idea. To make the chitta firm is very difficult without sadhana. The energy of Omkar is like a mine of water. It moves in all directions. It pervades both inside us and outside us in the form of buddhi. It becomes vibrationless, creating, maintaining, and destroying all. The vibrationlessness becomes one with buddhi. Buddhi becomes merged in Omkar. Omkar becomes one with buddhi. Omkar becomes one with the world. The world becomes one with Omkar. The Omkar and the world become one with Akasha. Akasha becomes one with buddhi. Buddhi becomes one with Akasha. Buddhi and Akasha become one with Omkar. The imperishable becomes one with buddhi. The imperishable and jnana become one with buddhi. Buddhi becomes one with Atman. Atman becomes one with Buddhi. From discrimination, a yogi becomes one with Atman through the path of Buddhi, the cause and effect juice of yoga. The juice of yoga transforms every quality of the body, directing it upwards. O mind, by the upward path pervade all those qualities of the body. Shake off all doubts from all parts of the body by bathing in the Ganges of Shiva. Let Shiva and Shakti be one with Omkar. See with the third eye the forms and qualities of the world. Let the doubts of the mind be reduced to ashes. Let the 6 enemies of the body be burnt to ashes. Let the body be smeared with these ashes. Thus enter Shiva by the help of the third eye. Be Shiva and Shiva you. Let the difference between you and Shiva be sacrificed in the midst of the 5 fires of the 5 senses. Let all doubts be heartily sacrificed in these fires. Peace. Peace of mind for attainment does not cost us anything, like charity and dharma. When one is filled with peace, those who are near him are also infected with peace. It is enough if one person is filled with peace. Out of 1,000, if one has peace, a fraction of peace is enjoyed by all those who are around him. A sadhu, when he enters a crowd of worldly people, should have that peace which a hunter has when he approaches a tiger. A sadhu, to be in the world, should have immense peace and patience. Peace is very useful to move among thousands of worldly people. Various kinds of articles are brought to a fair. Similarly, peace should be practiced in various ways. Peace is the food for the practicer. Purification. If gold is melted in fire, it shines with luster. So also one should purify oneself, killing desire and anger internally. By introspection he should move internally. Consider the physical eye. A blind man may have a light in his hand, but the light is of no use to him. Those who have eaten a bellyful do not require food anymore. Suppose the cooking is over. You are not satisfied by simply smelling the food. Your hunger is appeased only if you eat the food cooked. If you hold a piece of gold in your hand, it is of no use. It should be melted in the fire. Its dross should be removed. Then only it shines brilliantly. Similarly, the dross of the soul are desire and anger. These should be destroyed. Unless the intellect is purified, contentment does not spring. Unless the intellect is purified, Chitta does not become steady. Unless Chitta is purified, a man cannot free himself from verbal delusion. Just as Brahmins wait eagerly for plantain leaves to be spread and meals served, so must a man wait for mental purification and mukti. Raja Yoga. Destruction of the world means transforming it into Vayu, air. Raja Yoga is the place of indivisible monism. If you enter the one, you lose sight of the many. Holding the nose with the hand, with eyes turned upward and holding the breath in tight, as if winding a clock spring with a key, are similar to circus feats or a cinema show. These are not what is called samadhi. Rama. The repetition of Rama is true delight. It is the eternal Atma delight, eternal true delight, internal Atma delight, Kundalini grandeur delight. The Lord of mind is Rama. Rama means Atman, that which governs the 10 Indriyas, the 5 Karmendriyas and the 5 Jnanendriyas is Rama. Ravana means all the wicked qualities in us. Sita means Chitta. Lakshmana means attention, thought control. Krishna means introspection. This introspection is the eternal Atma delight. Reality. On a tree grow numberless flowers. The flowers all perish, but the tree does not perish for a long time. The visible is like flowers, the invisible is like the tree. Renunciation. If a man goes to a forest and there lives in a cave, it is just like a beast in a cave. Even the milestones are better than such a man, because by the milestones we can count the distance in miles. Such people are of no use whatsoever. A thoughtful man should gradually go on renouncing the world. When a man eats food, it is for his own benefit. Others are not benefited by it. It is not enough if we leave darkness. We must always live in the light. If we have a light on the dark path, we have no fear. There is fear in walking in darkness. Same-sightedness. Same-sightedness is the urdhva shvasa, gasping upwards at the time of death. Same-sightedness is the indivisible one. This is supreme bliss. This is the subtle. This is the eternal. The supreme light is the universal light. O mind, abolish the idea of otherness. Have the idea of sameness. Samsara. Even a child 5 years old knows that there is God, but the child does not know where God is. The sun sees all, but very few, 1 in 100,000 or 2, look at the sun. In this world, 3/4 of the people are fond of sexual pleasures like beasts. Even those who have reached the middle state are less than 1/4 of the people. Good deeds are very few in this world. Evil deeds are many. Almost all fruits have their seed inside, but the cashew apple has its seed outside. Our mind, like the seed of the cashew apple, must be outside samsara. Before you die, leave the forest path and follow the royal road. When you are on your deathbed, you may suffer the agonies of hell, your prana being obstructed by the 3 humors, vata, pitta, and kapha. No one is not mad in this world. When you were born with breath. When you leave this world, you leave breath only. This body of earth, you never made it, nor can you take it along with you. That which Shiva gave us is the same in all beings, both mobile and immobile. All seeds have the same power in them. The subtle in seeds is one. There is difference in their behavior only. The delusion of the mind is not permanent, but transient. What can be seen and heard is all transient. Sannyasi, Swami. Without knowing the secret, if we simply decorate the exterior skin, our karma will not leave us. One cannot be a sannyasi by external signs if he is internally a hypocrite. What you think, you must speak. What you speak, you must show by your acts. Do what you say what you do. Such a man is a jnani. He is a paramahansa. He is a yogi. He is a sannyasi. One who has conquered desire is a true sannyasi. Only a desireless man is fit to be a spiritual teacher. Swami is he who has united the Chit with Sat. Upadhi means the tree of peace. We must take shelter under this tree of peace. Those who are always one with Brahman are the brahmacharis. Such a man may even belong to a pariah caste. One does not become a Swami by simply holding an ascetic staff, a danda, in hand, or by holding a copy of the Bhagavad Gita, nor by putting on red clothes, nor by discussing God with whomsoever he meets. He is a real sannyasi who has burnt desire to ashes. He is the universal teacher. The universe is in those who have renounced desire. Mat is akasha, space, is sannyasa. The same is light, the same is consciousness, the same is divine light, the same is fire, internal and external. The same is the fire of discrimination. This power of discrimination is in the universe. Self-knowledge. A man must know himself. He who has conquered the mind is a man. He is an ascetic. He is a yogi. He sees the one Atman in all. Suppose you come into a dark room after wandering in the sun. What do you see? Look at the sun for 5 minutes and come into a dark room. You see nothing. This is as it ought to be. One must see with the inner spiritual eye. When a man has become a graduate in law, he receives a university gown. This gown covers the body from head to foot. It has 4 hands, 2 hands and 2 legs. When Sat and Chit become united, we have Ananda, Brahmananda, Paramananda, Sri Satchidananda, Sri Yogananda. When we discard worldly pleasures, we enjoy divine pleasures. When we realize the truth about the jiva, we enjoy Ananda. Realize your Atman. When you see another and yourself as different, it is delusion. Identify yourself with another. Realize the secret which is in yourself. It is not enough if you talk of this identity, but you must act according to it. What you see with the external eye is of no use. The feeling of distinction will be the cause of trouble at the time of death. The real sunrise is to be seen in the sky of consciousness. This is the most excellent sunrise. The whole universe is to be seen in that heart space in one's self, just as the sun is reflected in the water placed in a small mud vessel. When we travel by a cart, the whole world seems to be moving. Likewise, the whole universe can be known in yourself. One's hunger is not appeased by simply smelling the food cooked. One must take the food himself to satisfy his hunger. So also the experience is the only accomplishment. There is nobody to oppose you when you have experienced truth. By simply holding sugar in your hand, you cannot experience its sweetness. Sugar must be placed in the mouth to taste its sweetness. This is experience. Book knowledge gives room for doubts and discussion, but self-experience does not. Experience for oneself is like the command of the king to the subjects. Experience is like the king's command. Book knowledge is the subjects. Shabda. As we go on practicing yoga, the bindu sound is heard in the head. This sound is one, indivisible. A lifeless thing is soundless, it is gross. A living thing has Shabda Brahman, can produce sound. The universe is nothing but consciousness. When you build a house, you must first lay a foundation, and afterwards raise the walls. So also there is no effect without a cause. Shabda, sound, is generated in Akasha, space. That which is generated in space is life energy. What is called Akasha is in the head. Akasha is heart space. Life energy is one only. Is sound generated from the world, or is the world generated from sound? Is the effect from the cause, or the cause from the effect? The world is generated from sound. From sound is generated form, and the world which has form. Shakti. It is not the work of Shakti when a man dances an oracular dance. This dance is a trick. Trickery's course is downwards. Shakti follows a middle course. Trickery belongs to the body. Shakti is Atmic. Trickery is powerless before the fire of Shakti. Silence. What is called silence refers to the mind, not the tongue. What is done when the buddhi and jnana are in communion with the Atman is not karma. Silence is the real locality of the mind, not of the tongue. It is by silence that yoga is accomplished. He is a yogi who has united into one both buddhi and jnana. One who subjects the manas to buddhi and makes buddhi control manas is a yogi. What is called the vow of silence is another name for the sushumna, which is the junction of the Ida and Pingala. The three important nadis of the body are the Ida and the Pingala and the sushumna. Sushumna is the seat of the Kundalini. Spiritual experience. In the beginning, before perfect peace is attained, the power of Maya, delusion, in us will be greatly manifested. Wherever you turn your eyes, you see serpents. In the beginning, when you sit for practice, the heaviness of a mountain is experienced. At times, you feel as if you leave off the ground. You feel as if you are sitting in the sea. You feel as if hot water is poured on you. At another time, you feel as if you are sitting in a grand upper story. Sometimes you feel like a needle. At another time, you feel like a leaf. Sometimes you do not feel whether you are walking or sitting or talking. At another time, all feeling comes to a standstill. Sometimes the body becomes quite motionless, like a coconut tree. At another time, human beings appear like actors in a dramatic performance. At one time, you see black faces. In perfect peace, one indivisible whiteness is visible. Light is in darkness, darkness is in light. The whole universe is in darkness. In the universe is light. At one time, all this appears like a bioscopic performance. At another time, like Sat Chit Ananda. At one time, questions arise. Why have men come into this world? Whither are they going? They do not know what their main duty is. Coming down is not permanent. Going up and up is permanent. To those who have gone step by step to the upper story and look around, what is heard, what appears, what is done, all is like a net that cannot be cut through. Spiritual practice, abhyasa. A seed kept in a closed box never sprouts. Such a seed never yields fruits. If it is sown in earth and watered, it will sprout and yield fruits. Hence, we must practice and get experience. It is you yourself who is responsible either for happiness or misery. We do not get experience from books. First is experience, and from that experience, books are written. The tree is in the seed. The seed is not in the tree. Man is not in the world. The world is in man. The world is subject to man. We express in words what we think in our minds. The heart should be free from hypocrisy. The heart of man should be perfectly pure. What the heart thinks, the tongue should talk. What one thinks, one must talk. You should deceive no one. You should hate no one. You must not mix with others. Your mind must always be one-pointed. When you have a deceptive heart, it is like the sun in the midsummer. A star comes out of the clouds and shines with glory. After a few seconds, it is hidden again by the clouds. So also is the mind of man. Sometimes it appears to be pure, but again in 5 minutes it is clouded over by passions. The egotistic mind melts in the Atman like a star which falls down from the sky. Akasha is not visible to the physical eye. Akasha is that which is visible to the divine eye. By discrimination, we can experience discrimination. Sound is known by sound. Mind is perceptible to mind only. Suffering. Adversity given by Shiva is no adversity. Sorrow given by Shiva is no sorrow. It is your mental delusion. At the time of our birth on this earth, there is some difficulty, so also at the end. When men come out of their mother's womb, tears trickle down their eyes. Pain of death given by Shiva is no pain. All sorrow is mental delusion.
शारीरिक एकदम बदल को सब निश्चय करके बोलते हैं।
Truthfulness, honesty. Say what you do and do what you say. All is Shiva. Justice and its opposite, both are Shiva. O mind, leave off injustice and be one with justice. Vairagya. A man should be quite indifferent to honor and dishonor. He should not have the least love for his body. Such a man will see the Supreme Being in everything and everywhere. Bhakti is prema, love. Giving to eat or eating is not bhakti. It is the delusion of the mind. It is pertaining to the body. There should be subtle eating and drinking. One should drink the water of discrimination. Peace is water. Yogananda is sitting on the water of peace. O mind, leave off worldly pleasures and enjoy eternal bliss. O mind, leave off worldly joy and enjoy eternal joy. Enter into the eternal, O mind. Run into the heart. The real enjoyment is in the heart. Enjoy that pleasure which is called mukti. Live in it. Enter into the internal, leaving off the external. O mind, open the third divine eye. Do not be thinking of anything else. See the world with same-sightedness. In this world, those who are indifferent to honor and dishonor have attained the goal. Such people only have attained peace. From one coconut, many coconuts are produced. If you cut the trunk of the coconut tree at the bottom, the production of coconuts ceases. Vasana, which is like the trunk, should be cut at the root by the axe of discrimination. Then comes peace. The characteristics of sadhuguna, sattva-guna, and peace, and all such qualities come from non-attachment. When buddhi becomes steady, it is called sattva-guna. Sat, truth, is like letters engraved in stone. The talk of the worldly is like letters engraved on a chalk slab. Those who have come to buy milk should not ask what the price of the cow is. Similarly, those who hanker after Atma should not bother themselves about the body. The man who has attained the Atman is like the dry kernel within the coconut. He has no attachment to the body. When the rope is burned to ashes, it cannot be made into a rope again. Sadhana, practice, is necessary for Vairagya to be steady. For Vairagya to be permanent, we must have practice. Vairagya is not related to the body. The steamer is in the sea. To the looker-on, it appears to touch the seawater, but the steamer is quite different from the seawater. There is no relation between the two. So must a man be in the affairs of the world. He must not have any attachment to worldly things. Vairagya should be like fire burning a cloth. When Vairagya is highly developed, the interior Atmic splendor will be visible. A certain man is a lord of scores of money. All cannot be millionaires at the same time. It depends on their past karmas. Everyone is rewarded according to his due. There is plenty of water in the sea, but the quantity of water one fetches depends on the size of the vessel one takes to fetch water. The fruit depends upon the vasanas of one's karmas. It is because of the vasanas of former births that a man has a hankering after hearing the teachings of a sadhu. It is because of these vasanas that one feels no happiness in worldly pleasures. Those who are guided by the vasanas of former births do not require separate vasanas. Vairagya itself is the result of the vasanas of former births. For such men, it is the time to tread the path to mukti. A traveler, after being in the sun for a long time and is tired, goes for shelter to the shade of a tree on a hillside, and there forgets his fatigue. So too, those whose minds are absorbed in the search of God forget all their worldly anxieties. Just as in the shade the sun's heat is forgotten, mindness is forgotten by the absorption in God. When we are inside a house, we do not want an umbrella. We are in need of an umbrella only when we go outside the house. Just as you do not want an umbrella inside the house, so also when you are in the great house called God, you feel no necessity of worldly enjoyment. O Jiva, perform tapasya by sacrificing all your qualities, sattva, rajas, and tamas. By the disinterested path, drink the nectar every moment. Drink that nectar without doubts. When you have realized the truth, you have no fear of death. After realizing the truth, I and mine are as if they are dead. Vasanas. This desire is under man's control. Those who have the power of discrimination have no fear of birth and death. Since mind is controlled by desire, you give room to enjoyment and difficulties. If the desire is subdued by man, he is no longer under the sway of pleasure and pain. Because the mind is subdued by desire, man requires external help to satisfy his desires. When a man becomes a slave to certain habits, this is the cause of lower birth. All habits must be under the control of man. A man must be indifferent to habits. For this you want a firm will. The work depending on fancy is not permanent. The work done by the power of discrimination lasts until the body lasts. Sankalpa is not always permanent. Sankalpa is far inferior to buddhi. Sankalpa is like the little finger. Buddhi is like the middle finger. Vasana is the great love for a certain thing. This vasana is the cause of birth. Vasanas which are related to the body come and go now and then like bubbles which appear and disappear in water. Body is all nature. Because of the great love for a special thing, which is called vasana, we have to take another birth. The vasana has a special form. That form reflects the internal. It appears in the form of a body in a special family. The man having such a vasana, whatever work he may be engaged in, his body only is working. His vasana stands apart, and there a body is created according to the vasana. It is impossible for the body to satisfy the vasana. Hence, the body suffers from some disease, and the outgoing prana after death assumes a particular body. This body is gone, and a fresh body is generated. The birth is for the fulfillment of that special vasana. The birth is of the same nature as the vasana. For instance, when one is walking, can he lift up both feet at the same time from the earth? Lifting up the feet alternately, one must walk. Similarly is the vasana of former birth. Veda Vedanta. Vedanta means prana. To be entirely merged in prana is Vedanta. Vedanta is one, indivisible, it is unbreakable. What is called Veda recitation is not from the tongue. Veda recitation should be from the throat. Those who know this secret are Brahmins. Veda is the one letter Om. It is the fire of inspiration. Vedanta is formless and changeless, indivisible. Light is caused by Veda. What is called dharana in yoga is the real recitation of Veda. Viveka. A selfish mind is not steady. A subtle discrimination is steady. What is creation is peace. What is creation is witnesshood. What is creation is subtle discrimination. Subtle discrimination gives us health-giving contentment. Subtle discrimination is the seed of mukti. Trickery, yukti, is not superior to Shakti. Trickery is subject to Shakti. Trickery is the delusion of the mind. Shakti is from the Atman. Subtle discrimination is the real buddhi. Shakti, truly so called, is subtle discrimination. Reality is the prana in man. He is a man who thinks, ruminates rightly. This correct thinking, right discrimination, is the real goal of man. Everything is attainable by practice. By practice, everything becomes known. The power of discrimination, buddhi, is the key to self-knowledge, and that key must always be in the hand. Just as a man possessing a treasure box must be very careful about the key of the box, so also buddhi must be concentrated in the brain. Just as gold is burnished after being repeatedly put into the fire, so by repeated exercise of discrimination, the subtle should be enlightened. You must see the world in you. Our intelligence is only a means of moksha. What is called dharana is nothing but clear understanding of the subject. By this clear understanding, we come nearer to the Atman. Yoga. What is called Hatha Yoga is selfishness. In Hatha Yoga, a man seeks his own goodness. He seeks fame. He can stop the sunrise of tomorrow. He can create a mountain of gold. Hatha Yoga is duality. The most excellent is Raja Yoga. Gaslight has no luster before the midday sunlight. Light is of use only when it is dark. When a man is hungry, he does not consider the difference of castes. Similarly, in sound sleep there is no hunger. Then manas is absent. Just so, a man must sleep the sleep of yoga. Only such men are jnanis. O beggar, burn the delusion of the mind in the fire of yoga. Those who have not realized Brahman do not know the truth. They do not experience real joy. Egotistic tendencies are not destroyed. Be always immersed in Ananda. Bury your desire in the depths of your manas. Desire is fruitless. Destroy it internally. Babies are Raja Yogis till the 6th month. After the brain is developed, the same baby is a Hatha Yogi. The mind in such babies is very fickle. Because the discriminating power is less in them, babies cannot distinguish between a lump of sugar and a lump of earth. Hence, such babies regard earth and sugar as the same.
छोटे बच्चे के लिए लीवर से आउटलेट अच्छा है। लीवर का इसमें पानी मिलने से बॉडी के ऊपर करने में नदी और बच्चे के ऊपर होता है।
Yoga nadis. There are 3 nadis, subtle energy channels in the body: the sun or the sushumna, the moon or the ida, the star or the pingala. The first, sushumna, is red in color, the second, ida, blue, and the third, pingala, green. Where these 3 nadis meet is the heart space in the head.
इसमें पानी मिलने में जैसे हुआ
Yoga Nidra. We should leave off the gross sleep and sleep the subtle sleep. We should enjoy the sleep obtained from the practice of pranayama. Leave the gross pleasures and enjoy the subtle pleasures. Leave off the physical sleep and enjoy the subtle sleep. Enjoy that sleep which is eternal. This sleep is enjoyed only in our subtle state. Burn to ashes the delusion of the mind. The nadi of the third eye is the seat of jnana. In this nadi is jnana. In this nadi is sleep, sushupti. In sleep there is no wakefulness. Enjoy this sleep. Harmonizing both prana and apana, enjoy the subtle sleep. Those who are born deaf have not the least idea of sound. They have no desires. They have subtle discrimination. Those who are always in yoga sleep have no difference between day and night, between sun and moon. To the subtle discrimination, all is one. Those who have annihilated the mind are men. Lower animals are so called because they are in a lower stage of development. Sensual life is beastly life. The upward breath is the goal of man. The same is Gayatri, accomplished. The same is yoga bliss. Those who have no subtle discrimination are not worth the name men. A man is not an animal. The gross is the body idea. The subtle is the thought of Atman. Jivatma is the gross. Paramatma is the subtle. Without the gross, the subtle cannot be realized. Without a foundation, a house cannot be erected. Thought power is what is called Shiva Shakti. The union of Jivatma and Paramatma is called Shiva Shakti. When this power is intensified, man becomes Superman. A Superman is a happy man. He is a Brahman, a knower of Brahman. Vedantic conduct or behavior is the true character formation. Yogi. A yogi is one who thinks the whole universe to be a yogi. He should regard all as himself.